Yo, 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 everybody. We got the Reuu Rabble coming back. We're just waiting for people to show up. I talked to Fabio. He said he'd be here. Maybe Cole my butthole. I think Dan might show up. And then Jay Noggy, if he checks his Facebook messages, maybe even Jay Noggy will jump in. But I don't want to keep you guys waiting because I know if I was even a second late, you guys would have a mental breakdown. So we're going to hang out until they get here and do member-only comments. I only answer member comments. You don't like that? Call a lawyer, loser. Is it really true the gangster crew is back? We got to have Jay Noggy and Cole. Well, I haven't heard from Cole or Jay Noggy, so it might just be Fabio and maybe Dan. Just please no Echo. Okay, if Echoes pays me $500, he can come on. Don't need any updates on if Erica Kirk farted today or not. My views, bro. My views. Hey, everyone. What's up, Chris? How's it going there? You're here because of Jay Noggy. What about me? That's not nice. What about me? You don't want to see me? All right, yeah, Fabio just texted me. He'll be here in a minute. Oh, boy. I'm so excited. We're going to talk about all you clowns getting drafted. You clowns are all going to Iran. Oh, you're all going. You're all going to be in the trenches. You pro-war Amerifats. Oh, you're going to get some war. Don't you worry. Don't you worry. Oh, baby. Oh, don't worry. I'll be your commander. I'll be in the talk, directing you guys in your frontal assault. I'll be right there with you. I'll be with you. But I'll survive, of course. Of course I'll survive. You guys, though? I don't know. I don't know about you guys. You guys don't have that experience. I hope we don't get to Hippo J Noggy. See that beautiful face once again. I'm hoping he answers I sent him a Facebook message. But I haven't heard back from him recently. Hold on. Hold on. Hold your horses. Nope. Let me text him. Let me text the Noggy. See if he gets my text message. Rabble? Yep. Jay Noggy doesn't have his phone all the time. No more Hippo. He's got to remain anonymous, bro. Oh, look who it is. The grifter himself.
Hey, what are you doing in my house?
No, what are you doing in my house, you little scammer?
Yeah, what are you doing in my house?
But this background is licensed, okay? You need to pay me a royalty to have that background.
Well, but wait. So, well, it's kind of mirrored, but I'd be on the other side, maybe. We're in the same exact room.
Oh, my God, it's Dan. It's Dan. He's got a Dave shirt.
Oh.
I don't have a Dave shirt. I have nothing under this robe, literally.
I have nothing under this shirt, literally. So, you know,
oh,
got that in common.
you got big swollen muscles under there. Yeah.
I had to rep the official stock of CM, supposedly.
Yeah.
Supposedly.
All right, so I have a question, guys. What happened to Dave's stock? I saw it was like one day I was just doing a live stream and it was down like 13%. What happened?
So it's not entirely certain exactly what happened, but it was holding up around the same price that they did the buyback at. So they did an offering for about $210 a share. And so they were repurchasing stock at that price. And you saw like while the market was selling off, Dave was very resistant, oddly resistant, but not really oddly. And so it would go up above 210, go right back to 210, go down below 210, go right back to 210. And then all of a sudden, right? Presumably after the repurchase, at least 70 million was done. You saw a nice little drawdown, roughly, what was it, 12% in a day with the rest of the fintechs. So
brutal.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll buy in now. The chart was scaring me for a while. Like I hate those charts that look like a U. It's just psychologically, I can't buy into something like that.
Oh, that it went parabolic from like the low 22.
Yeah, it kind of looks like Robin Hood stocks chart almost, where it's like almost close to zero, and then it just shoots up massively. It looks like a U. I just have a psychological barrier. I don't like that.
Yeah.
So it's totally stupid, but that's just my thought process. There's no logic. Yeah. You don't need to make a rational answer to that.
No.
Yeah.
It's obviously like when you look at the stock, you go like, oh, I missed it. You know, it's like because it was at single digits. Now it's at 170. I think. 175 or whatever. It's at. So yeah, but in reality, from like a profitability standpoint, it's trading at I think just 10 times forward. It's growing at 30 to 40%. So
wow.
Yeah. and they're actually doing repurchases, which is nice. So
yeah.
With the because what they did was a little creative. Not every company can do this because it depends a lot on what your contracts are giving you with an IV. So like a fund will come up to you and do this like convertible debt offering that they did, and they borrowed money at around the net interest rate was like 1.8%. So under treasuries.
Wow.
Because the firm that takes on the convertible notes, what they're doing then is they're going to make money from selling the call options. So they sell calls and then they generate interest on that, and the IV is so high that is their embedded interest rate. So the note itself has no interest, but then the embedded interest of like what Dave effectively is paying. We talked to management. It was they confirmed the figure. It was like 1.8% round up.
Yeah, I saw that was cool. You got to bring him on your channel.
Yeah, that's the nice part. You know, eventually, like we're gonna be talking to more management teams versus just like how before we never had access. But yeah, it's nice.
Yeah, I wish the Vanguard would come on my channel, but they've been ignoring my emails.
Gil is winning.
Gil's winning, bro. You know, he's been in the Philippines apparently, so he hasn't been as active in my chat.
I think he had to relocate. He probably lost his apartment already.
Oh yeah,
he was so wrong for so long.
Well, I remember him telling me, he's like, TLT, you got to buy TLT, bro. And I'm like, interest rates can go up. You know, that's like actually possible, right?
What brand is that?
Velo.
He's supporting me. Same.
Supporting him. No, I know.
Well, no, I'm not loyal to Velo. It's like I get a bunch off at 7-Eleven when I buy Velo, so that's just the one I go with. But it is pretty good. Out of the ones that I've had, it's probably one of the better ones.
You didn't let me know how the other brand tastes.
What other brand?
Either FRE or Alp.
I think I've had FRE. I actually
you didn't like it?
No, I think it was, from what I remember, it was very strong. It was overly strong.
Did you take the really strong one? Because they go up to I think 15.
Well, that's the only options I had. It was like a 12 and a 15.
Oh,
they didn't have any lower op. I was like, that's obnoxious.
No. Yeah, they have 3s and 6s as well, but probably that was what was available at the store at the time. So
yeah, everybody in the comments see this? I see a lot of non-member comments here. I'm sorry, you got this highly intelligent panel of people, and you're not going to pay $5 to ask them questions? What's wrong with you? You're missing a golden opportunity here.
See right there.
Yeah, I got one in too.
Look at Chris here. Tax season CPA in his robe, living the good life.
Oh yeah.
But you see, mine's different, right? Mine's the caffeine, so I'm cheating.
Oh, it's too late for caffeine. 6 o'clock. Oh,
how much can you feel that more than like a Monster? Like, is it more immediate? Or
yeah, I think it's more immediate, but it's not that crazy. But it's direct. It's a direct hit of 50 milligrams.
Whew.
So I mean, your daily dose, what's supposed to be, they recommend no more than 400. So,
well, I definitely have more than that. Isn't it like 200 in a cup of coffee?
Can be.
I have like
coffee that bad. Death Wish or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if you ever try the nicotine version of this, let me know, but not the strong one, right? Go for let me know what the 6 or the 3s taste like.
You know, Fabio, apparently now I get paid to do videos for eating food, and
I saw.
Maybe I could do a video for you. Maybe I'll give you a discount. You know, you just have to cover the cost plus a little bit of profit. You know.
Yeah, I mean that shouldn't be too bad. They're on sale right now. They're doing a bunch of sales.
Yeah, I'd immediately go to the gym after that. I went and lifted. That was the most disgusting. I mean, it was good, but it was so big and greasy and fatty. I had to go work out.
Yeah, I haven't had that sandwich, but yeah, I haven't had McDonald's in a long time. But is it worth it?
I mean, it's a good value for what you're paying when it comes to like if you're focused on like being full and getting a lot of calories, it's a good value. It's just very greasy, like the average McDonald's food. So, I mean, I would say you're good not eating it. I think you'll be fine.
Yeah, I had Indian food, so
there you go. That's good.
My toilet will be destroyed within like 12 hours or so.
Well, I hear on Twitter that Indian food's just like slop. Is that true?
No. Well, I mean, like you probably can find like the street food stuff. Yeah, probably some of that street food stuff. I've seen the videos. It looks pretty slop, but you know, not all of it for sure.
I love Indian food. I'm watching like Twitter. I'm like, what are these people talking about? Have they ever actually had Indian food? It's actually delicious.
Yeah, it's definitely top 5. I'd say either 1 or number 2 would be Indian food. Yeah,
nice.
Like proper Indian food. Right?
That's not very patriotic of you. Well, you're supposed to say hamburgers and hot dogs.
So hey, barbecue can be pretty freaking good. But anyway, sorry.
Yeah.
You know, so India and Pakistan get most of their cooking butane from the Middle East. So they're going to start. They're going to be in an emergency soon. They're probably going to have to start rationing. They use those like little butane bottles in the portable like cooktops.
I didn't even think. Damn, we gotta
stop. Should I go get Indian food now before it gets more expensive?
Oh no, I think here you're fine.
No, in India and Pakistan.
Yeah, here you'd be fine.
So first question, we got to talk about what's on the title of the video. Do you think there's going to be a draft?
That's a question for you two.
We can't be drafted.
Do you think there's going to be a draft?
Yes. You're screwed, all you.
Yeah, no. You do? Really?
No. He ain't got the balls for that.
My big brain is if I draft myself first, then he can't draft me.
No, I'm in the Space Force immediately if you know this is coming.
So, really?
Yeah.
Hey, well, I got time on my hands. Like maybe.
Here's the warning sign. If I ever get called up, then you know it's starting to get serious. Because my job is
called up too to get.
Yeah. Because my job is like pulling people out of the IRR, which is like the backup of the backup. So if I get called up and I'm like helping people in the IRR come back in, that's when the next step would probably be a draft after that. So I am the warning sign.
So
you let me know. So. You know, it's funny. All these like people that are complaining and bitching about you on your streams, they probably pissing their pants about a draft. All these Gen Z kids. Oh no, not me. No.
Oh yeah.
I'm scared.
You mean like this turd right here?
Yeah.
He's like, why don't you support the war? Yeah.
Hey, fucker, we already did.
Like, leave the country, bro. I'm like, oh, I would love to be your commanding officer. I'm putting you on point, boy.
I tried to go on an Iraq deployment and they didn't have any spots left. And then 3 months later, I got called for Afghanistan because I was like, I have to go because like otherwise you can never get out. Remember, they like if you hadn't deployed, like they wouldn't let you get out at any point. So
get out. Okay.
Like at some point I wanted to get out, and I knew I was going to do 20 years, but like they would not let you resign your commission if you or go IRR unless you went.
I mean, they threatened me with stop loss. They wanted me to go a second time. And I'm like, no, the war's over, number one. And number two, like I've already been once. So why are you threatening to stop loss me? This was like at the end of the war. Like we'd already torn down all the bases. We were just kind of hanging out on like one or two bases. I'm like, why do I have to go back again? For what? What are we doing?
Deploy to tear down to leave. It's like, what?
That's what we were doing.
I know. I think we sent a few people to do that at the end too. They came back in like 3 months. They were supposed to go for 6, but they came back because Biden was an idiot. But,
yeah.
Wait. So what would you have done differently? Like if I'm telling you we were leaving Afghanistan, so you can't. What would you have done differently that Biden? What happened?
I mean, I think the biggest criticism was that we abandoned Bagram, which is the big air base.
Same thing. That was the fuck up, I think.
You could have left guards. It was already a base. You could secure it. You could fly everybody out. And then when you're ready to go, you just collapse the perimeter and then you fly out and you're good to go.
It was 40 minutes away from Kabul. There's no cities near Bagram. We could have controlled that. There wouldn't have been those huge crowds trying to jump on the planes and fall their death. Like, so I don't understand why we went out of Kabul. I've been to both. I was at both airfields. So I'm like, what the fuck are they doing?
So
I saw Kabul once for like 10 seconds.
Yeah.
So that's a great question. Why do you guys think we did that? Who made that decision?
Somebody probably told them some fact about Kabul that they could get out maybe more people, because it was Kabul's or the airport's like in Kabul, just on like the northern side of it. Bagram's 45 minutes away on a 2-lane road. So they could get more people out.
Yeah.
That was the goal. But it was chaos. We couldn't have held it either. I'm like, there's like a ridge line next to the airfield at Kabul. You couldn't have held. If we tried to stay there, they could have started lobbing rockets at us. Like they could have taken the high ground. But that was a fucking mess. But
yeah, it was a sad end to the whole Afghanistan saga.
I knew exactly where that bomb went off too. I used to drive by that like every day. We went to the airport every day to like drop people off and pick up supplies. So
crazy.
You guys see what's happening right now in Afghanistan versus Pakistan? But
yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Get some Pakistan.
Well, Pakistan's dealing with the Pakistani Taliban, and the Pakistani Taliban are working with the regular Taliban. And there's like some developments about the Pakistani Taliban perhaps joining forces potentially with some splinter group from ISIS that's over there. So they're two different Talibans, the Pakistani Taliban and the Taliban from Afghanistan, but one is supporting the other. And there's this whole dispute, right, from way back when the British left about the borders. And so the Taliban feel like, they deserve the whatever they think is the original border. The Pakistanis don't agree with them. And so the Pakistanis are having to deal with that. And then I forget the name of the other group. There's this group of, I believe they're Arabs in the southwest of bordering Iran. So that group is dealing a lot of headache to the Iranians and the Pakistanis.
Yeah. But they're within Iran, but they're like a minority. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Like on the south, because I was actually like on the border with Iran. So it's basically like Afghanistan and desert, and then Iran is off to the west. So, and then it really wasn't that habitated. I mean, there were some Afghans living east of us, but we were basically in the middle of a desert in on the border of Iran.
Yeah. That's the interesting part of the world.
Yeah. Okay. So no draft. Okay. I don't think there's going to be a draft, people. Yeah. That would be crazy, but we'll see. What about the AI bubble? Number one, is it a bubble? And number two, is the stunk market going to collapse? What do I do? I don't know what to do. Tell me what to do with my stunts.
Well, we're only at a 10% correction right now, I think, from peak to trough, right? And I think year to date, the S&P at least is down like 6, almost 7%. So we haven't really corrected too much yet. We're in just like a standard correction. We're not in a bear market for now. The AI stocks actually on Friday were pretty strong, relatively speaking. So there's the names, right, that everyone's familiar with, the NVIDIAs, etc. But underneath that, there's a lot of supporting stocks, and those actually were pretty strong. You know, in memory has still been relatively strong. The fabs have been relatively strong. Keyword on relative for everything. And then the new everything to do with lithography, or sorry, not lithography, but no, it is, yeah. So I thought I made a mistake there. No, yeah, everything to do with lithography. But yeah, you're talking about the AI bubble. I mean, the actual hyperscalers, they're in a bit of a correction. Last I remember, Google's at 270, Microsoft's in the 350s, Amazon broke 200, and Meta is what, 540? I think it's 540.
Yeah, I saw them go down. Like, did they get sued, or like what happened with that? Did they lose the case?
2 lawsuits. They lost one in, both of them are getting appealed. One of them you're going to laugh at more than the other, but the one in New Mexico they lost was 275 million, if I remember correctly, or 300 million. And that one, the New Mexico was asking for 2.2 billion. They only got 275 or 300, whatever it was. And they're appealing that one. Then New Mexico is notorious anti-business. They're a horrible state for business. So it's whatever, it's to be expected. It's a very litigious state. Andrew can tell you all about that. And the one in Los Angeles, which is the more comedic one, was a woman who said that all the social media apps were responsible for all of her mental trauma and why she's like depressed, a whole list of, you know, the alphabet people things. And
alphabet people.
Yeah, maybe I'm misusing that phrase.
No, I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
Maybe I'm misusing that phrase, but all the mental illnesses in the alphabet is what I'm trying to say. And she's blaming it on social media, TikTok, Snapchat. They settled with her, and then YouTube or Alphabet and did I say TikTok and Snapchat? I might have said Alphabet, I forget. But Alphabet and Meta kept going, and they lost. It was 6 million in punitive damages, and 3 million in punitive damages, 3 million in I'm blanking on the other legal term for the, so there's 2 piles, but it's 3 million, total of 6 million. So the problem with that, right, because it's like 6 million and 275 million, who cares? The market didn't fall, or Meta didn't fall with the 275. That was whatever. But the $6 million one is when it fell 8% in the day. And one of the concerns is what that opens them up to, because it's eroding the liability separation. And, you know, my opinion is that it's kind of crazy. It's like we're losing agency, or we're losing any sort of sense of responsibility. Like, what, now you're not responsible at all for how much you're on your phone? To me, I don't know. I feel like it's crazy, but so there's about 4,000 other lawsuits that are very similar. And so the market's looking at that and saying, well, for one, it's doing 4,000 times 6 million is a lot. Scary sell, but also how that starts to make that whole liability separation look. Can it be eroded further? You know, and it's the perfect time for it to happen, right? so that's the thing. That's always the fun part. Is like when things like this happen at the perfect moment, you can get a outsized reaction where the market itself is weak, and the market's looking for any excuse. You just need to look at it the wrong way, and the market will screw you up. So that's the gist there.
You know, I've been addicted to YouTube for a while. Maybe and I've had some mental health issues. You know, maybe I should drop a $6 million lawsuit.
You should sue.
Do you
I
think
might.
like
Yeah,
the
you can make
problem
some money.
seems to be the algorithm being applied to underage and younger adults, would you say, right? Like, is that's kind of the problem? Like, these people are depressed, they start looking at things that are like depressing, and then the algorithm keeps feeding them more. I think that's like was generalized what these lawsuits are about, right?
That's the claim, but I as a person that grew up with social media, I mean, it's like that's kind of it's not even on you. It's like I press X to doubt, you know. It seems like a personal problem.
Well, I mean, there's some people that can like. Let's just be honest. A lot of men don't have as big of an issue, but there are young women that have a hard time dealing with, you know, what they see in the algorithms. Like me personally, I'm not going to let my kids do social media. But once they turn 18 or 21 or whatever, that's at that point you're supposed to be an adult and should be able to handle it.
I mean, we can explain it to our kids, kind of, right? Like you look at a topic, it's going to keep feeding you the topic more and more because it just wants you to keep looking at it.
Yeah, and a lot of parents don't do that, so they just like, oh, here's the phone, go on X, you know what, and have fun. That happens in a lot of families. So
yeah, I mean, my kids have like the kid mode stuff, like Messenger, not like social media. So you see who they're friends with. You could look at the messages if you want. I don't usually bother, but
yeah, I mean, I'm gonna be very strict about that. I don't know if I'm just gonna give them a dumb phone or maybe like you said, maybe there's some kids mode thing I can do. But when it comes to young girls, I think they do have issues with social media. I mean, even adult women do on average. So I could see some issues there with young children. But I mean, once you're an adult, I mean, you kind of have to own you kind of have to be responsible for yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's the gist with what's going on with them. So
I think
it was.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, it's a 70-30 breakup too. So it's YouTube was determined to pay 30% and then Meta 70% responsible.
Ooh. So are you what do you think? Are you concerned? You freaking out?
Not right now, no. I mean, what Meta's already rolled out immediately was like the controls on younger kids, but because you know the company needs to step up because the parents.
I mean, it's true. A lot of parents are like, oh, here's a phone, do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the norm, actually. I think
that's crazy.
Yeah, but what someone just said is very true. If you can't handle social media, I mean, that's like maybe it's something the parents need to think about in terms of like teaching their kids, because it's like social media is like I think a easier mode of handling real life situations, because you know it's like easy to be mean and on a screen, right? But then if you're in person, it's another thing.
Screen bravery won't even show his face.
Gil's in the comments here. Oh,
no, he ate pussy.
Yeah, but
Gil, come on, man, come on.
It's kind of a sign of the, I guess, not the times, but I feel like from what I'm seeing a lot in people in the chats, you know, you're talking about having your kids under kind of this like watchful eye and you know, responsible parenting all around, it seems, which is good, and that's how it should be. But out there in the litigious world, there may not be as many.
Or maybe I could have a long-term plan where I use my children as sacrificial lambs. So
that's a smart way.
It's a long process, but it could work.
Yeah.
I think it's important though to tell your kids like number one, they should learn some sort of martial arts or confidence. Number two, you should tell them don't take shit from people, like in any shape or form, like online, at school. You know, don't just bury it deep and get depressed. Like, fight back. kids say mean stuff, but then you give it right back to them and they stay positive and nothing, you don't have to think about it the next day. I should have done this. But it's middle school is the wild, wild west. Like they go at each other. Some of these kids, like verbally.
I remember.
Oh.
I still haven't emotionally recovered from that.
We get to now.
All these years. So, did we talk about? We talked about the draft. Did we talk about the hot stuff? Someone asked what you guys think about the midterms. I think they're. Well, we'll go one by one, I guess.
It's honestly, it's too early to tell. I mean, if Trump pulls off like a magical victory in Iran, I think we'll be fine. Even if we lose, even if the Republicans lose the House, I mean, as long as they keep the Senate, he'll be impeached, but he's not going to get convicted. So if he pulls off a magical victory, I mean, I think we'll be fine. If Iran goes really downhill, I think he's going to get his cheeks clapped in the midterms. So it's just kind of a wait and see thing.
Yeah, I think probably. Yeah, sorry, you go, Dan.
You want me to go or
you go?
I think the Republicans are going to get screwed by one big thing: the redistricting. I think they made a huge mistake doing this across the country because they used 2020's information about voting, right, to redraw these districts. The problem, he had overwhelming Latino support in 2020. He's not going to get that because of what they did with the ICE actions. So I think the Latino vote's going to go against him. They did not redistrict with that in mind. So that's going to compound, I think, the losses, hypothetically, they're going to have right now. I think it's going to be even worse. So I think it's going to be a
surprise on the Latino thing. But
yeah, I think it's going to surprise people because I think they exacerbated their losses by redistricting. And we'll see in Texas. That's going to like the congressional races in Texas and some states maybe you don't expect. I guess we'll see. But
hey, in Virginia, we're going to redistrict here. I've seen all the adverts. Every time I go to the gym, I see advertisements for you got to stop Trump, vote for redistricting.
Put up Internet Warriors comment because this is what I was trying to say, Dan.
I've heard you. I know you've said this to me before. I know. Yes.
Yeah. I think if you just if I brought some Latinos on the show and had them say what they think, we're very
you
can't say it on camera. No, you can't say it on camera. Especially with your skin complexions, you cannot say what they would say on camera. They can because of their skin complexions. It's politically okay. But yeah. Anyways,
I was happy about the election with Trump because I was like, what my worry is that America was dividing into like racial voting blocks where most of Latinos would vote for Democrats and most of the blacks, which they still do, obviously. I'm like, oh, well, all the whites are voting for Republican and all the nons are voting Democrat. Like, that seems like that's not good in the long run for like national unity. But I was actually surprised. Like, I think Trump got 42% of the Latino vote or something like that. So if we can keep that progress going, I mean, I think the Republicans have a lot better future than people think if it keeps going.
Well, like okay, so because Republican, Democrat, like they're right umbrella terms. They're like big warehouses with a bunch of like different factions all within them, right? But the Latino culture tends to be on the cultural side, at least a bit more on the conservative side. Economically, it varies. And that's where you're going to get a lot of like disagreement or variation. And it honestly depends on what country they're from. But the ones that the governments have become more socialistic, the migrants from there, especially like the earlier ones, will be very anti whatever left economic policies are, right? Whatever you define that. But they'll be very much like that. But there's a lot of the Central American that's where you'll have a bit of like unclear variety. It's not, I can't say one way or the other. But like, yeah, the Venezuelan migrants will tend to be a lot less like economically left. You say anything remotely like, oh, socialist, they're like, nope.
No,
Nope,
I didn't get that
not
vibe from you.
Same with the Cubans. It's kind of the same ordeal. Like, nope. So yeah, but then Central Americans, a little bit of the mix. It's not really one way hard or the other. And if you break that same figure out by the males, by the way, so male Hispanics, it's even more.
Yeah.
Versus female. So the female skews it a little bit, but yeah. So all in all, I mean, like, because that's the difficulty, especially when you're talking to someone international, because if you're really talking about Republicans or Democrats in the United States, it's so different. Like a Florida Democrat is very different from a California Democrat.
Yeah.
Even though they're under the same team, right?
Well, I mean, every party has like different factions. Like the Republicans have like the far right people, they have the religious people, they have the Midwest people, all sorts of different factions come together under each party. So even if like the Democrats swept the House and even the Senate, that doesn't necessarily mean that we're going to have like the end of the world. It really depends on the nature of the type of Democrat that was elected.
Yeah. Yep. And I'd say, yeah, the same thing with the Republicans. Yeah, Florida Republicans can be different from a California Republican. So
there are going to be some candidates that are going to run on like anti-data center platforms this midterms also. So we'll have to see how that turns out. So,
we
like
have
some
one.
of the local politicians, like against the data centers, like in their areas, and then that's part of like why they're running. So I mean, it's kind of the first political test for this data center expansion. Like they're not going to outlaw it federally. It's going to be it's a local issue, right? Zoning boards and so forth. But
yeah, we have that Fishback character.
I've seen him.
See, you know what's funny about him? So he's, I think, more popular outside of Florida than he is here in Florida. Like he's not going to win at all, but it seems like I'm asked, Ryan asked me about him and I'm like, what the fuck do you know about a local election in Florida?
Well, he run like a fund. Like I remember somebody sent me like a super chat to look at an ETF, like an anti-woke ETF. And he was like, before it got shut down, I'm pretty sure he was the manager of it, which surprised me. I'm like, oh, I recognize that name from somewhere. And it was actually him.
Fishback. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
you can't miss that name.
He's it's like an interesting platform to run on. It's like fairly populistic, but the anti-data centers, the corporations can't own houses, all like the stuff that you say at a crowd and you expect. I think people, or more people than we give credit for, look through that, but you'd almost expect, like if you read Reddit, would be like, yeah. But because the whole, I've told this to Dan before, it's like the corporations owning houses thing. If you ban that, hypothetically, you would change almost nothing. Like the percentages is so low, and in the markets where they have a higher percentage than normal, it's like markets, for example, I think it's Austin is one of the markets where they have a higher percentage than normal. But if you look at Austin housing prices, they're collapsing because they built so much, so the supply caught up to the demand and then some. And frankly, that the housing situation in Florida, when Fishback is trying to appeal to that, it's like in Central Florida, the prices have come down decently, not a crazy ton, but they're still relatively affordable. If you go down to Miami, if you want to live in Miami, okay, but like that's more of like a a separate issue because yeah, okay, I also want to live in the center of Manhattan.
I have to ask you because corporate single home ownership isn't a big. It's not a thing in upstate New York. They stick to the apartment communities they'll build usually, but
yeah, it's a lot easier to do that. There's a few that do the single family homes thing, but if you look at it as a percentage of the single family home supply, it's not. People make it sound like they cornered like 20% of the market. Really, if you actually want to do something, if you're trying to be like if you're trying to go the populist route, go the populist route. Don't half-ass it. Go for individuals can't own more than one home or something, because I think the mom and pop landlords are like the 20%. I don't agree with that, by the way, but I'm saying like if you're trying to go after the cohort that has cornered, because I'm saying that because I don't agree with it, cornered the market, you go after the mom and pop landlord, which is roughly 20%.
I get a state rebate check from New York for my taxes on my primary, but not my rental house. So
yeah.
What? You get a rebate check?
Yeah, this New York State sends me a part of my local taxes to me. You know that? You guys all think New York's communist. It's a great state.
I'm just jealous.
A lot of people talk about the shit they'll talk about. It's New York City, not the state. So
You guys aren't communists. You guys just have taxes that I don't particularly like. But
it's like 5%. I just did it. It's like 5% of my income. I can live with that.
5%.
I know you want to live. You want to be free.
Virginia almost 6%.
6%.
My plans are ruined now.
I know.
You know what sounds nice? 0.
True.
That sounds nice.
Yeah, but
Virginia
the property
Beach is nice,
taxes balance it out. Like, aren't Florida property taxes higher on average?
You have to pay for every highway you get on. You can't deny that. I was down there.
No, you don't have to pay for every highway. No,
Seems like every highway I was getting dinged for tolls.
There's a lot of highways that are tolled, and I prefer them because the traffic is less. But no, you don't have to. They're like, but like I-4, for example, is notoriously dangerous. I think it's one of the most dangerous highways in the United States. Fun fact.
So when I came down to Orlando, I didn't realize. I thought there'd be like a little bit of a route around the airport before the highway. So I was like messing with the seat in my phone. I didn't realize as soon as you get out of the loop, you're on the highway from Orlando. Like there's no like, it's like 50 feet and you're on the fucking highway going 80. I'm like, I'm playing with my phone. I don't have my seat. I'm like, Jesus Christ, I'm gonna
Welcome
die.
to Florida.
I know.
Well, so the new terminal is much better, but it's international only. Terminal C, which is the modern one, super nice, much nicer, and doesn't have that issue where it takes a time before you get onto the highway. But both highways are tolled anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Now, see, they're supposed to give me a Cadillac this time, so we'll see how they screw me. Because I was supposed to get a Camry last time, and they gave me a fucking Chevy. So,
you know,
are you going down there again soon? Are you going to Disney?
I'm going 4th of July.
Nice.
Yeah, I'll be down there 8 days.
We'll go to a different steak. I'm kidding.
I'll go, dude. My daughter still talks about that place.
She liked it, right?
She liked the filet mignon. She was like, they kept apologizing. She was like so embarrassed about it.
They have good customer service there.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah.
I think we're going to try and go to Epcot. Maybe we'll try.
Oh, Epcot's good. They'll like the Ratatouille ride. You and your wife will like the drinking, the food. Go to the Mexican place. So Mexico's good. The French one has like the very expensive, but that's the very expensive one. It's not maybe worth it, but they have the normal one. Then they have like because Disney has like the experiential restaurants. Morocco is actually pretty good for food, but Mexico's great. Anyways, we're not talking about that.
Hey, we talk about whatever we want on this live stream.
I can't wait to see Chris go to Disney with his kids. He's gonna vlog it.
I probably will.
Just wait till they're 10. You won't go crazy. I didn't want to push.
Oh no, I'm not taking them anywhere now. They're still too young for that.
Yeah, I waited till they could walk on their own, and it was all right.
Dude,
One day got to them though, but
I have a fire station that's like maybe a couple hundred yards down the road. I'm like, hey, you want to go see the fire trucks, kids? And we start walking, and of course, like the daughter's whining within like 100 steps. I'm like, there is no way I'm taking you kids on vacation until you're a lot older.
So, midterms, we all think odds are they lose, right?
The Republicans in the House?
Yeah.
I mean, that would be normal. I mean, it's normal. Like when you have a sweep, you usually have like one party come back. But I mean, it really depends on how the Iran war goes. I think if Trump can pull off a miracle and the stocks start going up and inflation goes down, maybe it won't be so bad.
So I think that topic is interesting because I think all of us have. I don't know what your take is, Strongman. I know Dan's, but that one's one we're gonna have. If everyone's listening and wants like some discussion, I think this one would be interesting. The Iran conflict.
My personal opinion is, number one, you don't really know what's going on. Nobody really knows what's going on because you go on social media and you see all this. Oh, an American plane got struck. We're losing. I mean, that's not true. But my concern is that we put boots on the ground and we win a big tactical victory, which I think we could do easily. But if we try to stay there, we could potentially get sucked into a pretty significant quagmire. So I'm just wondering what his plan is to have a quick victory to open the Strait of Hormuz. That's what I'm wondering. He may have a plan. It may work, but I have a lot of reservations about putting boots on the ground in Iran and how that would actually work out in the long run. In the short run, yeah, we'll have tactical victory. We'll take the beaches if we need to. We'll win. We'll delete a bunch of Iranians. But long run, the longer you stay, the more you get sucked in, the more troops you have to commit, and then it could potentially turn into Iraq 2.0. So what do you think about it? You think what's the master plan for a quick victory?
Well, I think we had the Reuu Rabble 1 year ago, right? From today. Or not exactly today, but I think we had it right before April last year.
Yeah, it's been a while. It's been a while.
And I think a year ago, we had the discussion about the U.S. government, not even the administration, but the U.S. government being more prevention of a conflict with China, right? And I viewed the Iran conflict from that lens as like this more shorter term kerfuffle that would probably prevent, if from a stock perspective, the sell-off of sell-offs. Because I already told everyone my game plan. If I knew, for example, there was going to be that conflict, I mean, you get out of everything as fast as you possibly can.
Oh yeah, that would be a disaster. That'd be bad.
Yeah, but I think like if you read various papers from the various war colleges, various doctrines, the transcripts from the various committees that our generals have spoken to, senators, etc., for every committee that they have. Each and every single one of them, the language has been pretty clear. And this is like obviously the public facing stuff. So this is the stuff that's said publicly. I don't know what's said privately, but what is publicly available, it's like every single one is discussion of, avoidance. The one from 2024, the one I always cite to you, Dan, when we talk about this, and that was again during the Biden administration. They mentioned Venezuela, Cuba, Iran, and Russia, and in that transcript, it was a discussion about engaging with them either diplomatically or militarily. I imagine the Russian one was diplomatic because they don't say, but they just say these nations diplomatically or militarily, and about resource denial to China so that China can say it's not worth it. That's the goal, right? In a super high level, the China goes like, it's not worth it. Let's just keep the status quo. Let's just trade. Let's just do all those things. And that's like the intent behind it all, right? So, Venezuela was, I think, roughly 10% of their imported oil. Iran's like another closer to 20%. So that's like 30% approximation already there, because even though you still have 70%, people don't understand that 30% is extraordinarily impactful. And, you know, as far as like the way we were probably viewing it, there was actually a paper from Taiwan, by the way, a Taiwanese university put out a paper, I think back in 2017, and literally talked about the Strait of Hormuz. So the part of the concern, right, was if there were to begin something, the United States would be focused in Asia, right? Presumably, this was what our various think tanks were thinking, right? As far as like the concern, we would be focused in Asia, and then this would present an opportunity for adversaries like Iran to, you know, have a little bit of a free reign. So the threat that they were always concerned, you know, going as far back, the earliest I found was the mention was 2013. I imagine there's stuff from before then. They mentioned this concern of like, if we're focused in Asia, what happens over here? And could they take advantage of it? Imagine like in Iran without us striking them. They're at full strength, and then they decide to put a toll on the Strait of Hormuz, for example. That the questions I have, that it's still like, I think I've thought of some of the answers. I don't like the answers, but you know, it's like the Gulf states, are they really that powerless to do anything? It's like if we weren't there in that scenario and Iran decided to do a toll on the Strait of Hormuz, because they're taking advantage that there's some broader conflict. China is asking them, hey, can you put some pressure on the Western alliance? And also, by the way, can you perhaps threaten, you know, the energy that they get from the Middle East? That's something that, again, the United States was like thinking about paranoid in a paranoia way, right? So it's like, what are the weaknesses of the West? And so all that to be said, from that standpoint, I don't know what the answer is, like why the Gulf states wouldn't be able to do anything, but presumably looking right now, Iran's like striking them. And then they're just like, oh, don't do it again, or we'll get involved. And they get struck down. Oh, don't do it again, or we'll get
I think they're terrified because Iran, you know, they can probably, I mean, this is what I've heard. They could target their desalination plants, their oil. They could literally wreck the entire economies of all the countries if they retaliated. I mean, and like to your point about, you know, China, like, yeah, that could be part of America's grand strategy because, you know, Iran and China are like, you know, kind of buddy. But at the end of the day, like, how does that solve the problem now of Iran putting up a lot of resistance? And how do we actually open the Strait of Hormuz? Because, you know, if you just read history, like just bombing a country isn't going to necessarily topple the government. You really have to put boots on the ground, or you have to have an insurgency that's really powerful that you kind of support with special operations like we did in Afghanistan. I just don't see like the masterstroke that Trump could do to take down Iran and to weaken them to the point where they can't close the Strait of Hormuz anymore. So that's my concern is, you know, hey, we can't seem to really take them out. We're going to have to put boots on the ground to clear out all these, you know, deep bunkers and whatever. And then if we put boots on the ground, they have a massive army.
Yeah,
I don't know how loyal they are, but they have a massive army. And even though we could defeat the army tactically, we would be stuck there for decades, potentially, just like we were in Iraq and Afghanistan, because there's going to be a resistance. Even if we topple the government, there could still be an insurgency. That's exactly what happened in Iraq. So I just don't know what his like quick plan is to defeat the Iranians.
I think, so one of the things that's interesting is in Iran, they have two different militaries. They have the IRGC, and it escapes me the name, but I'll just call them the regular military because I forget the Hartesh. The Hartesh. I think it's the Hartesh or the Hartesh. I might be. Anyways, regular military, easier for me to remember. The regular military, the traditional military, has always been under this like microscope by the regime for their questionable loyalty, because there's historical precedents for them being a little bit disloyal. And the argument that's there is that, yeah, the IRGC, these are the guys that are the true believers. They're the ones that will fight. And then the Hartesh will be the ones that won't act almost until the very end. Because from their perspective, almost put yourself in their shoes, and it kind of makes sense. So it's like, if you are the one who's going to rise up, you only really have one shot to shoot the king, right? So you can't miss, because if you do miss, like let's say they maintain power, well, now you're done for. You're done. Already they had reasons to distrust you for prior slights against them. Don't give them the last final excuse to that you're gone. So that's one thing, because I think when just outsider looking in, we were talking about it earlier, right? The US is sending, what is it, 15,000, 7,000 in one group, and only from that 7,000, it's like 1,500 that are ground troops. The rest are everything else kind of personnel. Sorry, is it 17,000 total after everything?
Oh yeah, asking me or
around that.
Either. Yeah. So it's like, I think from what I remember reading, the Iraq figures, right, was like 160,000, and it was 5 aircraft carriers. I believe we're on 4 aircraft carriers now, which with the 4th one on the way, I believe, and I think we're 3 right now that are there. And then we have the amphibious ships. So that 17,000 strong force, I don't know if it's 17,000, personnel that can land on the ground, or if that's just total personnel. And then among that, it's a smaller number. But point is, it's like it's from what we know, because maybe we don't know that they're moving stuff, right? Maybe we don't know, but if it's only going to be 17,000, then presumably then it's going to be something similar to, they're going to take like a small area, and then it's just guessing from us, like, okay, what would you do with a small area? But I was entertaining the idea that, it's going to be some sort of like FOB, where we're going to start putting supplies in some area, because maybe the US is expecting, that we're not privy to, but is expecting some sort of actual Iranian uprising, and they need arms, and we're going to be supplying them. Maybe that's the answer that we're missing here, because that's the thing. It's like another part where I feel like people, or a lot of people are, it's like a wait and see. We'll wait and see. We'll see soon if that's the case, or if it's like a blunder. But I say, if it is a blunder, it would be pretty bad, because I don't, maybe I'm not seeing it, but it looks like if it is a blunder, the Iranians are now stepping up the rhetoric as far as like what they want for the future of the Strait of Hormuz. So it's almost like, we have to keep going. Everyone has to keep going. The Gulf states can't afford to stop at this point, because the Iranians cannot claim the the Strait of Hormuz. That's untenable for them. So I don't know what happens there, but it's really interesting. I
mean, that's where the quagmire comes from, because if the Iranians are fanatical that they're not going to let go of that strait, and there is no uprising, or we have to land boots on the ground to support the uprising, that's when it starts to really escalate. Because like it's basically what happened in Iraq and Afghanistan. We came in there, we armed the rebels, at least in Afghanistan. We toppled the government. We won. And then the fanatics basically went into hiding, and they started an insurgency. And at least my experience with like Afghans, the people that work with the Americans, they're not really there because they have like a fanatical belief in America or freedom. They're just there to kind of get a paycheck. So you'd have those guys supported by the Americans and the national government that was installed. They didn't really want to fight. They just wanted to get the paycheck. And they're fighting these fanatics that can hide in the mountains, and they never give up.
Yeah.
Which is why they eventually took back over Afghanistan. So my concern is, okay, we get boots on the ground, we topple the government, then an insurgency starts. The local government can't fight off the insurgency because they're They're not really fanatical. They just want a paycheck. And then we have to send soldiers in there, just like we did in Afghanistan, to support the national government. That's the huge risk that I see with this conflict.
What if
Man,
sorry, Dan.
The people in this part of the world, they're built different, man. I don't think people appreciate that in the Western Hemisphere. Like, we saw it, Chris. Like, these guys are built different out there. They just fight, and they fight forever, and they don't give up. They don't quit.
They'll die.
There's no surrender, and they don't care how long it takes. They're not gonna. So, like, when Trump started talking about unconditional surrender, like 3 days into this, I'm like, oh, we're cooked. Like, this is not on the table for what's gonna happen. What?
I have a question for the both of you, though. So isn't one of the major differences between Afghanistan is, like, arguably you say enough of the people did not want it. So, because it has to be almost like this natural inclination for the desire for change, but enough where people are willing to die for it. Because you're right. If you're dealing with people who you're just like on your side and they're just like, oh, I'm just collecting a paycheck, the moment shit hits the fan, I'm dropping the gun and I'm running away. But in this case, right, I think there's the possibility that the grassroots movements, and I'll give some but this is where it gets hairy itself, because I mentioned at the beginning of the stream, right, we have these, like, I believe they're ethnically Arab, but they're not Persian, and they're to the southwest, and they're causing problems for the Pakistanis and the Iranians, and they want their own country. So that's where the hairy part comes in. But they're willing to kill IRGC, and they're already doing that. They're taking advantage in their own little region, and they're killing IRGC because the IRGC is distracted. But you have that group that is that kind of caliber of person. They're willing to fight forever. And the IRGC has been fighting an insurgency there that now the IRGC weakened. That's something that, is a problem there. But what does that look like for Iran, what comes after? Because I think for the US, when, the United States government says we're not going to destroy their energy infrastructure, we're not going to destroy their oil infrastructure, it's because we're thinking, I view it, because some people look at it and it's like, I think they got the wrong conclusion of it. I view it, if we start doing that, it's because we're desperate, is my opinion on that. Because I think we're thinking about, of course, what comes after. Because I think appreciating, of course, how we build energy infrastructure here in the United States, like when we're talking about these companies and their pipelines, et cetera, you realize that stuff takes years to build. So if we blow that up, we blow whatever comes after back into the Stone Age. And so, for the people, if they were to rise up and take over, if something change were to happen, I mean, I'm sure that they'd be happy with no power that we helped them and freed them. But it'd be nice if they had something to go off of, like civilization could resemble something what it looked like before. But what my question, because I said I was going to ask a question, is like, do you think it's different, though, that people here might be willing to die for that cause, and you have people who are willing to fight forever that need the arms and perhaps a little bit of help from the sky that we could provide to destroy some of the, let's say, heavier armored stuff, and then ground to ground, they're willing to do the rest?
I mean, I honestly don't know how fanatical the resistance is, but I mean, usually the Muslims, when they're fanatical, they're very fanatical, just like the Taliban.
Yeah,
they'll fight and fight. So I mean, maybe there are some freedom lovers, but I don't know if they're going to be able to fight as hard as fanatical religious zealots. And then if you arm these other ethnic groups to topple because like my understanding is like the Persian ethnicity controls the country. They're like the dominant group. Mm-hmm. So if you armed, like, we'll just call them the Arabs, if you arm the Arabs and they topple and take over the government, well, then you have probably a lot of the Persians pissed off because they're the majority of the population, but then you have a government that's run by a minority. So that could be an issue too.
I don't think the U.S. government wants that Arab group to rule, because that'd be equivalent of closely making Iran ruled by the Taliban. But probably more of the Persians who are not aligned with the regime is more likely. But I actually brought it up as a concern for what comes after, because in the chaos, I don't think the Iranian government, let's say there's a new government that comes about, I don't think they're going to be too happy with the Arabic ethnicity to the southeast breaking away. I think they'd say, no, we're going to stay as one country. And then there's also the problem with the Kurds, right? It's like that awkward situation with the Kurds again, where I don't think whatever neo-Iranian government comes about, do they want the Kurds separate? But the Kurds are willing to fight potentially. And so you see, it's like, I don't know what to do.
I mean, there's a lot of unknowns. I mean, it really is just wait and see, but it's a very tenuous situation. It's not, this ain't Venezuela, basically. You know, we've done this before in the Middle East. And I mean, you know, if you look at past performance, every time we've done it, it's been a total disaster. So I honestly hope Trump figures it out. I would rather us just, if we can, just beat Iran and everything's sunshine and rainbows, and then we go back to focusing on domestic issues. But I'm just a little concerned about.
He could still stop, right? Like until troops are on the ground, he could still just say we're done, walk away.
I don't
think the Middle Eastern countries deal with being blackmailed for going through the strait. That's like the best case right now. Like to take those straits with Marines and naval assets. I mean, as unpopular as this war is right now, imagine if that happened, right?
There'd be a lot of casualties.
200, 300 Marines, right? We might lose a destroyer or two. Those ships are not designed for coastal operations, our destroyers. Like they're supposed to be standoff ships for China. Like we built naval vessels to be in the ocean. The littoral ships are what we'd have to use, and we got 30 of them. So,
I mean, I think the best move would just give Iran some concessions. I mean, I think it would be embarrassing, but at least you don't get sucked into a freaking land war in Iran. Take a little bit of slap on the wrist and move on.
People forget the high ground matters in drone warfare. Like we've seen, if you look at the topographical maps in Ukraine of where their defensive positions are, it's always on the high points. And then there's like a low spot in front of them so they can maintain line of sight when they launch their drones. Line of sight from them or from their the drones themselves. But the high ground is very important. And like they have the high ground at the straits on the northern side. Like it is a bad position to be in to try and take them.
And they could launch rockets and drones because it's hard to hit ships because they're moving. But if you have U.S. troops on the ground in a narrow area, you could just pound them to smithereens from every part of Iran.
How do you hold it? What is holding it? Like, we would have to get like the Ukrainians tech on drones, right? We'd have to have a huge stockpile in position to be able to fight off any Shahed launches, and it's gonna be tough.
We'd hold it by sending in more troops. That's what would happen. You know, we'd be like, oh, we sent in 10,000. That's not enough. Oh, let's send in 20,000. And then that's, before you know it, it's.
Or we could nuke the desert to create a canal.
Wasn't that Lindsey Graham?
Yeah, Lindsey Graham posted.
Was that a troll or was he being serious?
I don't know.
I think it was. I was like, that has to be a troll. I saw
because someone's like, why don't we just make a canal through the desert to the ocean? It's like, well, there's a big fucking mountain range there, buddy.
Look, bro,
it's one of the most remote parts of the world.
Oh yeah, then there's the Houthis. You guys hear about that? I gotta go piss, but I don't know if you guys heard about that. But apparently they launched a rocket at Israel or something. So maybe they could close off what is it, the Suez Canal or the Red Sea or whatever that is.
The Red Sea.
I would have rather seen us go after the Houthis than Iran. After Venezuela, I think that would have been a more attainable target. Keep pushing the satellites and closing in on Iran. But I don't know.
I think again, just I'm not making this opinion up out of nowhere. Our government has been saying for a while that we had to engage them. Because in the end, they, aside from the whole higher level political game, just on the regional, they're the single greatest adversary there, causing all of our problems for the past 30 plus years. So, and we found them probably in their weakest state ever, which is another thing all the military analysts are
The
highlighting.
Houthis?
No, the Iranians.
Oh, okay.
They've never been weaker than they are today. Right?
Mhm.
They had just lost a lot of their satellite power. They lost Syria. They lost what we see in Hamas. So, and what was kind of like this powder keg moment, because like what I was trying to tell you, gents, about Venezuela, when Chris comes back, maybe I'll repeat it. But Venezuela, oh, here you are. Venezuela, you couldn't really do anything because the people are broken. They're not going to rise up.
Well, like
And
the
I
people
think-
that would have left, like,
Yeah,
right?
they're all gone.
They're all gone. So
They're all gone. So, and the Americans shouldn't be expected to do the heavy lifting, like all the work, right? For the Venezuela, like that's how some Venezuelans perceive it, as like, oh, you guys should just do all the work. Which is not fair, and that's also not in line with the U.S. goals, because that's why I maintain the thesis is so far there hasn't been anything out of line with the thesis that it's all countering China. Like what I saw with the policy change on energy shipments, because here's one thing: if I had told people, which this happened, that the Cubans were heavily involved in Venezuela, like probably a few years ago, people are like, I don't know about that. It's like, oh, that's kind of weird. Why would that be the case? And then when, we kidnapped Maduro, it's like, how many Cubans are killed? But all the Venezuelans know this about Cuba inside of Venezuela. But also what people don't appreciate is that there were Iranian elements and Chinese elements in Venezuela. In fact, a lot of the mining operations in Venezuela was like Chinese, basically locked down, walled off, etc. Just like the Chinese were heavily embedded in Venezuela, and so that's like always been a kind of like from the Venezuelan perspective, this like weird thing. Especially the ones that fled were like, why are the Americans allowing this? It's kind of weird that you're letting this happen in your backyard, because this adversary does not like you, and they're putting stuff here and putting stuff here and putting stuff here. And there was an island that I forget it was Chavez or Maduro gave to Hezbollah for training. Right here, it's right under you. Of course, like United States is not so easy to penetrate, I'd imagine. But
so are you saying is the thought process that we just want to have control of the strait so Iran can't supply China oil in the event there's a war?
Yeah. It's more so just saying, hey, man, if you'd go through with this, it might not be worth it. That's it. That's all I think the U.S. is trying to do, based off of their own words of, I don't know how many primary sources are all listing that. It's all about avoidance, because what the U.S. wants is nothing to change. Let's trade. Let's just do everything normal. Don't be a dick to your neighbors, and nothing happens. Don't fuck with the current world order.
But the thing is, we could do that anyway, because let's say we go to war with China.
Yeah.
Okay, we put a carrier group, off the coast, maybe 200 miles south of the Strait of Hormuz, and if there's any ships that are going to China, we just say, oh, we're going to blow you up.
Yeah.
Why do we have to do what we're doing now to accomplish that goal? It seems like this. It's a bad way of going about it.
Yeah. Well, that was what a lot of them stated as like the prime fear is that Iran as it is, and Iran, well, I'll get to the second part that makes this part even worse. But the fear was that if the United States is focused on the adversary, a prime adversary of the closest to equal power that it has seen in a while, then it would give perhaps most of the assets the United States has towards that theater, leaving this area open for an unknown event that would be very ill-timed, because in the midst of all that chaos, the last thing we want is something else to occur in the global Arrakis, where all the spice comes from, right? The last thing we want. Yeah, well, yeah, just so happens. But that's the last thing we want. And I think originally when a lot of at least the one from that I'm remembering from 2013, we still didn't have the shale oil boom. So the Middle East, when that was written, was a lot more of a priority to us than it is today. Where now we're a bit more self-sufficient, as the shale oil boom really didn't kick off in a major way until I think 2014, 2015. It was just in the beginning. So a lot of the work that went into that paper was done beforehand, and identifying that would be a problem or potential problem. And so that's like something that probably kept us up at night. It's like, oh, if we went over here, yeah, we could put the carrier strike group, but then what if, you know, and again, we didn't strike anything. This is Iran at full strength, decides to start closing stuff up, starts putting a toll, starts being a lot more annoying than they otherwise could be. We may just have enough resources to throw things everywhere. That could be the case. Like, we're just that powerful. We're just like, oh yeah, you know, just we're doing this over here. Fuck it, we can do this over here too.
Yeah, but we could do the exact opposite effect. Like, oh, we're trying to anticipate and stop a war with China. Instead, we get sucked into Iran, where we're actually committing a lot of our resources to Iran when we should instead be focusing on China. So we could actually be doing the exact opposite of what the intention is, because we're expending a lot of ammunition. I think they're moving a third carrier group there. I may be wrong.
Fourth.
They're moving a fourth. Yeah, there you go. You see how,
Well, the Gerald Ford's out of action now. The
Yeah.
sailor sabotaged the ship, apparently.
Yeah, I heard about that. I'm like, is that?
I think
Is
they
that
did.
true?
I think they burned the laundry room, and they were stuffing. Apparently, they stuffed shirts down the toilets and shit.
No, so
Because
never mind.
they're on like the 10th month of their sailing. They should be home already. So
Some people need to get executed, man. Like, that's like high
yeah, if
treason.
they catch who did that, like, what do you charge them with? Fucking, they're going to prison. Like
Like, you took a
Wow.
carrier out of action. Like, that's not a light thing to do. That's why I was almost thinking that was bullshit. I'm like, oh, a laundry fire?
yeah, I was like, what the hell? When
Really?
does this ever happen?
Wow, I hope that's not the case. That's crazy if that's the case.
I mean, there's a theory that Iran could have hit the carrier. I mean, I don't know, but it's wild to me that you have U.S. sailors potentially rebelling, and we're just starting the conflict.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that's
You know,
not
that
good.
was the carrier group. The Gerald Ford was good. Should have been in the Middle East when they had the protests in January, but then he sent it to Venezuela. So if he hadn't sent it to Venezuela, it would have been in theater. We could have started the airstrikes while they were protesting. Before they, what was it, 30,000 supposedly people got killed. But
Yeah, and well, that's the whole other thing. But the I thought about that exact thing too, Strongman, because it's like, you know, we moved some assets over there, so in theory, pretty good time soon. But the thing is, the PLA's own estimate is that they want to be ready by 2027. So in 2026, they have 2 windows per year that they can do it. One is right now, and the other one is October, September. And those are the 2 windows each time every year. So if it's going to happen, it's going to happen in one of those 2 windows. But the one thing that this is, I had a great conversation with someone yesterday who's a geopolitical analyst on X. Dan knows, he has your name, Dan.
Was it Peter Thyhan?
No, it's not. But because I asked him this question because I was curious on his thoughts, because that was something I was concerned I didn't have an answer for. But he actually brought up a great point on this actually being the closest thing to a Cold War with China that we will ever have, potential. Hopefully is what he said, because they had given. Oh, I didn't even finish the point on our paranoia with Iran, but this is connected. So China was arming Iran. China was giving Iran more and more and more equipment. So one of the things our government was kind of concerned about, right? Let's say if we didn't do anything and then the year is 2030, presumably in 2030, Iran versus now would be more armed than it is today, or was, you know, just a few months ago. So our government was, of course, saying we didn't know, because that's another thing. Do you want to take the risk that the Chinese equipment doesn't work?
You know, their stealth detection radar didn't work until it.
Yeah.
Well, no, when it burst into flames, that's when.
Yeah.
Those memes are funny.
So like this is in some ways like a Cold War with China, but there's two theories. Either the Chinese screwed them or scammed them and gave them shit, or the Chinese tech doesn't work, and we're seeing how effective they would be against us. And the thing that should terrify them is that if their stuff doesn't work for defense in Iran, there is no way in hell that they're going to prevent something like the Three Gorges Dam from being attacked. There's nothing.
Oh yeah.
And so that's like evidence for them to look back if they didn't scam them, because that's the other option, right? The one that you want to give the Chinese a little bit more grace is to say, grace, you know, like, oh, you scammed your ally. But it's the most graceful excuse. It's like, oh, the reason why it didn't work is that, you know, Chinese tech is very good and very advanced, and it would totally have, you know, defended against US attacks, but they scammed their ally and gave them all the crap stuff. Or it really is kind of crap, and then the Chinese are looking at that and saying, oh fuck, like, okay, let's say we do something, and then now what all the military analysts have so far said is like, well, now Xi Jinping has to worry about where he's hiding, because the US it has kind of shown that, well, it's not afraid of striking the leadership. If you're at war with us,
yeah,
we're not afraid of striking leadership day one.
We're gonna find your top 30 people real fast. Like,
I mean, I just don't think it's good strategy. Like, oh, you know, we want to, you know, preempt China's invasion, but then we get sucked into this massive war in the Middle East that will do the exact opposite. It'll deplete our resources and distract us. I mean, could we potentially be giving China an opportunity? Like, if we really get sucked in to Iran, worst case scenario, we start landing tens of thousands of soldiers. Wouldn't that give them a better opportunity to strike instead of preempting them?
We're there right now. Energy over there is much more expensive than what you're feeling it. A military campaign would be very costly. They have reserves. I believe their reserves equal. Dan, I think you mentioned this fact to me, but I forget. Isn't it 6 months? They have enough reserves for about 6 months, maybe less than that. So energy is the lifeblood of anything. If you're trying to project yourself, it can get extremely costly. Again, the problem is, right? The problem with all of this is, like, logically, there's no reason for them to do it. We already established that. Like, everyone has spent infinite time explaining why it's illogical for the CCP to want to do this in a militaristic fashion. The only problem that everyone who says that is forgetting is that you can't apply the similar logical framework to an autocrat. Because you know how some people can make the link, right, that a billionaire is disconnected from reality. So the billionaire is not aware of the woes of the working class man because he doesn't experience it. So it's almost like when you talk to them, they're just not where we're at. I think everyone listening agrees with that. But why not apply that exact same concept to an autocrat? Where that person is in a position of power. Think of it like yourself. Like, would you start to feel almost disconnected from reality if you could snap your fingers and someone in front of you can get killed? You know, like, where you have so much, to use some Gen Z lingo, you have so much aura in the room that everyone just cowers away from you. Doesn't that
kind of see that with Trump? I mean, not at the level of, like, not the level of a dictator, but he does surround himself with people that kind of blow smoke up his ass. If you know.
Yeah, but
he's at the level as the dictators. But
yeah,
I'm really concerned about this. Like, it's great to be positive about this, but this could be a complete and total disaster if we get sucked in, or worst case, if Iran actually strategically defeats us, which would be basically us backing off and allowing them to keep control of the strait. It could get really bad, is all I'm saying. So I just think there has to be a better way to do this than to literally potentially start a massive Middle Eastern war again. There had to be a better way to do this.
Yeah, I mean, maybe the strategic blunder to begin with was, perhaps Afghanistan that traumatized the U.S. or is being utilized as a way to kind of give an example. Because imagine a world where we didn't do that. We didn't do Afghanistan. Maybe Iraq, because Iraq now today, it's kind of worked, even though it might not have been worth it. That's a whole different discussion, right? But it kind of worked. Speak to some Iraqis, and they're like, it's actually never been safer to live there. And so, like, United States did put a lot of resources to nation build, but it kind of looks like it worked. Afghanistan didn't work. And so if United States never did Afghanistan, would we as a population like play the game of alternate reality? Would we have the same sort of level of trauma? Because I feel like that's what it is as a population. We have this, like, we're thinking about this conflict, the Afghanistan conflict, and then we go look at Iran and we're like, oh, it's going to look like
Afghanistan was guaranteed to happen. Like that was, because like that's where the Al-Qaeda was staging out of. Iraq was really, I think that was the bigger blunder, because I mean, even if we won or did better than Afghanistan, I mean, we invested a lot of resources in somewhere that we didn't necessarily need to go. But Afghanistan was guaranteed that was going to happen.
Okay, so yeah, from that perspective, yeah.
And like Iraq, I mean, Iran is double the size of Iraq. I think in population, or maybe even bigger.
It's 100 million people.
Yeah. I mean, you want to talk about resources being invested. It's going to cost an insane amount of money, and that kind of distracts from other more important agendas. I think
like people, they'll collapse because we've done like 3,000 bombing sorties in Iran. It's like, guys, Russia's been losing 1,000 people a day for like 3-4 years now, and they're still fighting. Like, modern countries can last a long time and take a lot of damage.
Iran has all the cards
without collapsing, right?
I mean, I said that I think they have the cards, at least in the long run. They have 90 million people.
Yeah, so they're not that. I mean, Russia's 140, Iran's 90. I mean,
but
the question is like, are we going to get this collapse and then a rebellion, which everyone kept saying? But I don't know, man. Like, I'm like, well, bombing. You start bombing cities. Guess what? We hit a school. And then you're killing, okay, say you kill a bad guy, but he's got family, and his family, now they don't like the U.S. So now, like, this bombing campaign, like, we've been through this, it exacerbates the situation. Starts making more. You kill one bad guy, and now you create 25 more.
Well,
and it's like, it doesn't lead to any, like, victory point for us. There's like never-ending bombing campaigns. But
I kind of think we might be underestimating how much of the other group exists and how violent they want to start being, because from their point of view, they've been oppressed by the regime for decades. And some of their young people they want guns. If you give them guns, I'm pretty sure they're already saying they're already at a point where one of the members in the server, he's Iranian. He participated in the riots and protests from before, and I had a great conversation with him, kind of just understanding. He's no longer in Iran, but and he's older now. But some of the things he said, like, as the young men kind of are thinking, they're just like, fuck it.
I mean, this is the great unknown, Chris. This is the great unknown. We don't know yet. Like,
I mean, at the end of the day, it's wait and see. But I don't have a good feeling. But I hope Trump pulls off a miracle. I hope their government collapses. We have this puppet installed, and the country pacifies itself. That would be a stellar victory. That's what I hope.
Did you see his comment on Friday where he said he likes to hang around with losers?
No,
dude. You imagine being like one of his administrators that has been loyal to him for years, and you hear him go on stage and he's just like, I love being around losers because they want to hear about my winning all the time. Like, what the fuck? Like
I said, he's not like a dictator or an autocrat, but he definitely likes smoking blown up his
He's
ass.
he's the New York City guy. I think people like it's not just a Trump thing. Like, look, we have like Andrew Cuomo. Like the Cuomos are like Trump. It's a New York City Queens thing. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty. It's pretty funny, but
Echoes really hates you now.
no, Echoes is my pay pig now. I don't know if you guys knew the latest development, but Echoes has been coming into my streams and giving me a lot of money.
I think you guys will make up at one point.
All right, about $1,000 later, I'll think about it. You hear that, Echoes?
I had a friend that we got in a big fight for like 5 years. We didn't even talk. And then one day I texted him and we went and had a beer and we were back to normal. So it didn't happen.
Sometimes boys fight, but they make up.
Yeah.
But I'm not cheap, bro. I am not a cheap person. But yeah, I guess I'll have to Venmo Fabio $1 each.
No, it's all good.
You know what I make per stream? It's like $1. I'm like, what the $2?
I missed Echo super chat, neglecting to. I know I'm a bad boy. Oh,
Well,
we got a new
anymore.
member. Yeah.
Yeah, I needed to do more content again. But I started.
I miss your old research videos. I've been badgering you about that. You were really like your 20-minute to the point videos on not just companies. Oh no, you always did companies, and I would try and get you to do like topics, but you always kind of just stuck to like earnings on a company. I'm like, you could do topics. Really, it's up to you. I mean,
No, I need to just do videos. But I have the live streams on Wednesday at the market close now. That's like my slot that I'm doing. So Wednesday market close, I'm doing them now. Just
Fabio,
like,
the biggest bang for your buck is doing videos. The biggest bang for your buck, because that's how you suck in new clients. How do you think I've been grifting all these people?
Oh, I thought you were being sarcastic. It's like, yeah, the biggest bang for
I mean, you can get clients too.
It's $10.
You know, yeah, the ad revenue is garbage, but the clients that come in, it's juicy.
Hey, the ad revenue gives you a Chipotle bowl. See, that's how I measure it. It's one Chipotle bowl, one video, one Chipotle bowl.
Well, I cut out Chipotle because I'm poor now. So
no, it doesn't matter if you're eating Chipotle or not. It's the measure, right?
So I kept getting YouTube perks of like places I don't like to eat, and I would just keep sending them to Chris. I'm like, do you want a Subway sub? Like, I don't know. I'm not going to use this a Chipotle thing.
Hey, Jay, you know, I sent you the link a while back. You were invited. I don't know if you want to hop on real quick, but you have the link. I'm sure you were busy being a productive member of society, but you were invited, my good sir. We've already made up. No, we have not made up, Echoes. No, I need at least $900 more, and then I'll consider. I'll consider being friends with you again.
$900 more.
Come on. You see how I emotionally manipulate people to get money?
Gil. I've never heard, by the way, before you, I've never heard the term pay pig.
It is the wave of the future.
That is a term. Pay pig.
It's all, isn't it perfect for like, you know, just mocking your subscribers, but they love it. You know, you insult them and they give you money. It's like the perfect, you know, it's like the perfect job. Yeah. I can see why like the dominatrixes enjoy what they do. It's like it's this feeling of utter power. You get to humiliate people and they pay you.
So I found a financial dominatrix. I sent it to Fabi. I don't know what it. I'm like, what is this? No, Fuhat found it, and then he sent it to me. I was like, I don't get it. Like, so she yells at you for how you spend money. Been a bad boy.
Punish me
now. You know, I'm the biggest fan now. I subscribe, comment every video.
You should.
That I was like, can't handle.
Strawman learned that on some strange adult websites.
Wait, so Dan's in the fin. So is this a thing? Wait, this guy knows about it. What is this?
No, I've heard of that too. Yeah, it's real.
The name?
It's like losers will send women money, and the women insult the loser as they send them.
Shit. So it is okay. I see it. Financial domination is a fetish of power exchange
Dan reading this like it's the first time. Dan,
Yeah,
I
I've
have
never
no
heard. What is this? I've never heard of this.
I have no idea.
you're acting very like, oh, I never
Wait.
heard.
That'll be fine.
Someone says
I
I've
don't
heard of
get it.
Findom.
Submissive person gives money as a gift to a dominant person, often voluntarily. Okay, what the hell does that mean? Folks, psychological power dynamic.
There's a comedy on Netflix about this. By the way.
God.
There's a comedy on Netflix. I forget the name of it, but
So does she ask for money, or does she like make you feel like an embarrassment if you don't? I don't know. She does
She, like,
psychological
mocks you and then
warfare
you-
to give you money.
Like the guys get off when they pay her. She's like, "Oh, you dirty piece of garbage! You're such a loser. You better pay up now. I need my nails, scum. I need my nails done, scum." And then they'll pay her money.
No idea. I gotta dig into this. I'm gonna make you do a video reaction to one of these. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna pay you $50.
Oh, hey, hey. I won't say no.
I'm gonna find a good one for you.
I'll give you the Dan discount. You can do it for 40. Okay. I know we're brothers.
I do
like
work
that.
for you. The company discount.
Yeah. Yeah, it's your moderator discount. Where are my dating stories? I've got lots, but I've been a busy boy.
no, don't you have that other channel, the one where you talk about the dating stories?
Yeah, I've been neglecting that one. It's just, I mean, this is where all my pay pigs are, so it's just more lucrative to come on here.
I would just stick to the one that you have the most fun with, and
Yeah.
more because I think you have more fun than this one, right?
Yeah.
Or no?
You can
It
turn the other
depends.
one into like adventures with Strongman. Like if you do trips in the summer.
I think I'll keep it dating related, and like whenever I feel like it, I'll post to it. It's just, it's hard to do. Like if I'm going to do 4 live streams a day, it's kind of hard to add in another channel and do a 5th live stream every day. It's actually pretty exhausting.
You do 4 live streams a day? I'm not catching all of them.
That's not recently because of tax
Oh.
season, but no, that's kind of my plan. Market open, market close, daily clown report, and then the I call it the e-begging stream where I just hang out, kind of like I'm doing right now, and people just send me money.
I've spent a week and a half writing up a criminal proceeding I've been working on. I think I'm done Monday. It's really bad.
It's really bad.
I can tell you off this, but
Yeah, no. Yeah. So how low do you think we're gonna go? Because we're not in bear market. We're not in the bear market. We're still only 10% from the highs.
you know what I did?
Yeah.
I already told you.
What do you think,
20.
Dan? You going to 0?
I have the same feel. Okay, when he said, I'll tell you, when he said unconditional surrender, I made a lot of moves to cash basically at that point. That was like the 3rd or 4th day of the campaign. So basically I just like converted some of my retirement to cash, and then my investing account, I just kind of shaved everything a bit just to have some cash ready.
But aren't you worried he's going to get a deal and claim victory, and then the
What do you
market
think?
back up?
As soon as he said unconditional surrender was his standard, that was it. The moment
I'm
like,
leaning towards the negative camp, but then again, I never rule out Trump pulling something out of his ass.
I like to use. I mean, everyone's using the ladder term because I can't think of a better one. But think of like an escalation ladder. Do you think it's more likely he's going to go up that ladder or down it? Like that's what I'm thinking about this as. We can still get out of this. Like we can still get out of this.
I think if
Until he
stock
puts
market-
boots on those islands, then there's no getting out.
if boots go on the ground, that's when I would start to get scared.
Because they won't give up, right? We invade sovereign Iranian. We wouldn't give up either. If someone invaded our territory. So
we're kind of at the pivot point. I mean,
yes.
If boots don't go on the ground, I think he'll eventually find a way. Oh, we got most of their equipment. They're weak now. We won, bro.
He could like walk away and be like, all right, Middle Eastern countries, straight's your problem now. I don't know. We could. I mean,
You don't think that the boots on the ground thing, because the market is funky that way. You don't think that the market goes, oh, now the strait can open up eventually?
They're not going to do it.
Well, I'm talking about capability collapse, right? So if if they get to the point where the nations in that vicinity all say, you know what, enough's enough as a coalition, and Iran,
I think it's
what,
possible.
like,
Yeah.
Because by the way, if I would love to hear the other side, because it's like if the other thing is the case, then it's like that's a new paradigm shift for the world. That means like any group, pretty weak group, can just absolutely wreak havoc. And I mean, as like, wasn't the United States the whole point of us being the global police or whatever, to police maritime trade?
Yes.
Right.
We're in all these countries because when he said we'll just leave, we don't need, like, it's their problem. And that was another unconditional surrender. Then he said we'll just leave. It's like, wait, we've made all these agreements. We have all these military bases with the idea that we would be there to protect you, right? Under our sphere, keep the Chinese or Russians out, whatever. But like, they're hitting all the refineries, right? We're not protecting them. We're not keeping the straits open. So we're not doing what we're supposed to do. Like, there's so many angles to, I don't think he thought about all these, like the political and the economic and all the issues that came out of this war. Maybe he thought they would just collapse in a week. Like, we don't know.
Well,
I think they are doing better than he expected. I don't think he expected them to fight this well. I think he thought, we're going to bomb them and they're just going to like.
Dude, the bragging about the marine or the minesweepers. We blew up all their mine ships. It's like, dude, they can take a little freaking rubber dinghy, speed out in the middle of the night, drop a mine, and go back to a cave. They probably have hundreds or thousands of those boats. Like,
yeah. His definition of winning is like, oh, we blew up a lot of their stuff. It's like, yeah, I mean, America can do that easily, but that doesn't mean you won the war. That just means
I don't think they were using those mine ships. I think they were just in dry dock, so they just got blown up. I think.
No, they were using some of them. I think that was what the Warthog was attacking. No.
50.
Well, first you got to pay me the 70 for the push-ups, and then we can talk about a sponsored video. Okay, you still owe me $70, pay pig. Anyway,
Did you do the 50 push-ups?
No, he had to pay me $100, and then I would do 50 push-ups. He didn't believe I could do 50 push-ups.
I know I can't. I could maybe do like 35, maybe.
Look, I'm still a warrior.
I know you're still in it though, man.
My ass is still on the fire. I could be sent away. I'm scared. I'd be a lot more scared if we went to war with China. Iran is probably a very low likelihood of like lots of fighting and casualties. I think China would be a different story potentially.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, wait, we were just saying something that with Iran.
So with their boats.
No, it was because one of the things that I think, at least, you really think they're doing better than we thought.
Yeah, because I mean, we're moving more stuff in. I mean, if we thought we needed that, wouldn't we have pre-positioned all that stuff?
I mean, it's kind of strange because every again, primary sources indicate that the whole concern was the Strait of Hormuz. So it's like, I think it was a known thing, but yeah, I think it was thought of as like, that's like their nuclear option. As soon as they do that, it's like they just use the nuke, the equivalent of it. So, and then they did well, I guess like the big nuke. They attacked all their neighbors.
I mean, like, America could still win, hopefully, but I do think he initially underestimated how much force it would take and how hard Iran would respond. So, I mean, it can happen. Maybe you're wrong, but I think his initial, because if we knew, like, oh, they're gonna be really hard to beat, maybe we should move 3 or 4 carriers there and have ground troops on standby. They would have pre-positioned them to do that. Instead of like, oh, we got to send them in. Oh, we got to ship them across the world to get there in time to help out. So, yeah, it doesn't mean we're going to lose, but he did underestimate, I think.
Yeah, because I guess like one of the things that people thought, because this is the other arguments I've heard, is like why we think that we didn't even realize they were this weak. So the other side was even at the very beginning of the war, a lot of, I'd say, intelligent people that fell for like silly information, said that they were holding back. That was like an argument in the very first week. I don't know if you remember. A lot of people saying, "Oh no, they're holding back because it was like a coping mechanism for saying why the strikes weren't that strong, that it was going to escalate, not de-escalate." And I think a lot of folks thought that because, you know, the rhetoric coming out of them from the beginning. Have you ever seen that meme of Arab warfare be like? I've shown it. Dan's seen it.
Yeah.
You ever seen it? Arab warfare be
I
like?
think I did see it. Yeah, I think you posted it. Something about they flash their weapons and then they die or something like that.
Yeah, yeah. You know, because it's a lot of propaganda of like, oh yeah, we're this strong, and I think for the most part, especially like again, we were like, oh wow, they're equipped by China, etc. They have all these stuff. They're saying, making all these claims, they have all these capabilities to destroy this, and that. And I'm pretty sure that the U.S. at least maybe internally had an idea of how much of a bluff it was, because the U.S. knew that they at least were capable of having had some missiles that could reach Europe, and that was another strategic blunder. We're all talking about, by the way, of how Iran's like a strategic mastermind. That was the dumbest thing they could have done, because the Europeans were very content with at least saying, you know, oh yeah, the U.S. they're lying about the Europe capabilities, right? And then they did the Diego Garcia strike, and then the Europeans like, fuck. They look around. And it's like, oh well, that thing we previously said is no longer true, and the Americans were saying something correct, but they were making all these claims, right? Power claims about, oh yeah, we're capable of doing this, and this, and then it's just like, all right, day one, leaders done, this guy's done, all the leadership done, everything we want, we can basically touch. There's nothing we can't really touch, and then their strategy is simply, oh yeah, we'll attack civilian infrastructure.
I mean, Trump, like, I think he's kind of feeding into the misinformation a little bit, because he keeps saying, oh, we won, bro. We won, bro. We won, bro. And it's pretty obvious that we haven't totally won yet.
No.
So he's kind of feeding into this whole thing of, well, if Trump's lying, maybe Iran's kind of telling the truth. That's kind of what people think. And it's kind of obvious that Trump is obviously kind of full of crap that we won, because the strait is still closed.
Yeah.
You know, like, okay, open the strait and then I'll say you won, buddy. I don't think we're there yet.
I think Trump for a long time, though, has been, I think, Dan, you were there from the conversation yesterday, but he's like a video game character that has one attack. And I still don't know why people listen to Trump's public discussion or public discourse. The thing with Trump is, like, he will say on occasion the thing that will happen, or the truth, whatever you want to call it, and then the rest of the time you have no idea what the fuck is going on. And I feel like he's done that now for 2 terms, where, and I gave the example, I started recording them examples, so that when this gets brought up, I can illustrate it. So in CM, like, I'll share the from, I think it was just last year. Sorry, might have been, yeah, it was beginning of 2025. And it's 2 clips. In the same clip, same interview, within the same 5 minutes, he says 2 completely different things.
That's the problem, though. Like, you can't trust what he's saying. So it's like, that feeds into the narrative that Iran's actually doing pretty well. That's the problem with how he communicates.
Yes, which to the credit, there's 2 ways of looking at it, because I'll appeal to the folks who dislike him, because that's the one way of doing it, and then I'll appeal to the others who want to hear the other side. So those who dislike him, you can say he's a dementia retard, and he's like just suffering from dementia. And so you have no idea what the heck the administration wants, because you're listening to the executive of the administration who's dementia retard. That's one option, right? And so the conclusion there is, don't listen to him. That's the logical conclusion you should derive from that, is saying, don't listen to that guy, because the administration is more than the person. Take it like Biden, right? You would say, oh, Biden gaffed, and then what? The Biden administration not doing anything? No, because just conclude dementia retard, don't listen to him. Then the second one is he's employing chaos theory, which is simply saying, say a bunch of things. Say the most, and by the way, this is where I lean on him being the case, because he's been doing that for like literally 2 administrations at this point. Like I said, the analogy of, and if you dislike the guy, allow me to almost like make fun of him for saying he has a single attack. He's a video game character with a single attack button. And it's the same thing over and over and over again. But for some reason, people don't take the attack seriously, or they just say like, oh, I'll trust him next time. It's like Gelman's amnesia. It's literally Gelman's amnesia, where you're having the same issue. Like you realize he's not saying maybe the most coherent thing, or not the coherent thing, but he's saying a bunch of things all at the same time. And then the very next time you're like, oh, I can't believe any of this. Then the very next time you're like, oh, but I'm going to believe him now. Or, oh, I'm going to listen to him now. So it's like the meme of like the traders, they have his X posts and they're like, I have to trade on what he's saying, because what he's saying is what he's going to do. Right? No, that's silly. So Gelman's amnesia would say you fall for it. And then you're like, darn it, I fell for it. I listened to him and he did something completely different, or this or that. And sometimes, again, he will say what he's going to do. Sometimes he will not say what he's going to do. He says a bunch of shit. An example, I think, what happened with Tucker Carlson recently. You hear about this?
That like there was like a CIA probe, or he was worried about a CIA probe or something like that.
No, so yeah, and apparently he's the one who indicated to Tucker Carlson that it was a bluff, that he wasn't going to strike the Iranians. And then Tucker Carlson is like upset, or he claims, I don't know, nothing's come about it, but Tucker Carlson's own claim is that he's upset because the CIA looked at the messages. We're not going to get into that part, but apparently he was the one who informed the Iranians, or told the Iranians in their conversation that, oh, the president's bluffing.
Wow.
Right. So he says a lot of things. And
I mean, my philosophy, I just ignore him. I'm like, I'm just going to see what happens.
That's what I do. That's what I do. But I don't know why people don't do it. But that's what I do. I ignore him.
Well, it's good propaganda against him. If you want to attack him, you can be like, oh, look at this stupid stuff he said. Obviously, he's a moron. Yes. I like just waiting to see. That's this whole thing is. I thought something was going to go down this weekend. I'm still waiting.
No. I genuinely will take. I'll take what Trump says with grains of salt, what he says publicly. And I know that whatever, again, either conclusion, you hate the guy, you think he's dementia retard, you shouldn't listen to him. You think he's employing chaos theory, you shouldn't listen to him. The conclusion is the same either way. You shouldn't listen to him. He's like the literary equivalent of a unreliable narrator. You're reading a story and the narrator, it's an unreliable narrator. And then you're going to believe every detail the narrator gives you? If I told you ahead of time, hey, we're going to read a story about it, and the narrator, the narrating style is of an unreliable narrator. The narrator will tell you the truth in the narration, but you need to determine what the truth is through the context clues. Or you take the approach of, which is you should take the approach of grain of salt on everything, and then you find out in the end, and then you judge in the past what the true narrative was based off of the conclusion, and then it reveals itself to you, and that's the payoff in the story of the unreliable narrator. You're like, oh, like usually it's used in the trope of like, oh, the main character is schizophrenic, so you don't know who the real voices are and you don't know who the fake voices are, and then in the end you find out, oh my god, the person was schizophrenic, that person was not real the whole time, as an example. So like Shutter Island as a movie, if you guys have watched the movie, it's also a book. The person in the end, oh shit, shouldn't spoil it, but unreliable narrator example. So yeah, that's kind of how I think about it. And when I'm trying to think about well, what's happening, the last guy I go to is like, oh yeah, what are Trump's tweets?
But they're so funny. They really
are funny.
Pure. Yeah. I read them every morning. They're hilarious.
Yes. If you're doing it for that, it's amazing. The guy.
Although
I mean,
people make fake
figure out
tweets, and then you have to go there and make sure that, like, did he really say that? Someone make that one up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I think like seeing forward, like he's probably gonna do that like 1,000 times. Like, oh, a great conversation. Oh, terrible conversation. We're winning. Oh, NATO bliss. Everyone observing him who is trying to use what he's saying to determine what's going to happen next. That's why you're always going to be confused. Because either he's dementia-tard, right? Or he's employing chaos theory. One or the other. If you hate him, if you want to hate him like that and say he's dementia-tard, go. Okay, cool. But I don't know why you're still listening to him. If he's employing chaos theory, still don't listen to. Of course, if he's employing chaos theory, you say our enemies, we hope they listen to him. Because then that's how a chaos theory works, is if enough people still listen to him. And again, like the frustrating part is he's a video game character with a single attack verbally. He does the same thing over and over and over and over and over again. Because I'm on the camp, he's more chaos theory than dementia-tard. But he could just be dementia-tard. I don't know. Maybe he is. And either way, I'm acting in a world where my conclusion is the same. I don't listen to the guy.
Look, I just know I'm in a good position. I was piling treasuries just because I was going to be self-employed. So I don't really care what happens either way. The market could rocket back up. Oh, I've got a lot of stocks. The market collapses 50%. Oh, I've got all these treasuries. Like, I'm really not like reacting or doing anything to trade this. Yeah. But I feel bad for the people that are trying to like figure out what's going on, because that's got to be stressful. Trump has to be very stressful. If you're
buying or shorting oil futures every time. Good luck, sir. Good luck.
The crowded trade right now is long oil, short everything. That's what a lot of people are.
Genius. Buy oil, bro. It went up a lot. Buy it.
Yeah.
It's like, what if the strait reopens? What if there is a resolution? I don't know. Might come down again.
Dude, it'd be like $70.
Like, just buy oil, bro.
Yeah.
You saw what happened Monday?
No.
Well, Monday we had a really nice pre-market move, and the whole day it stayed green. It kind of abated, but it's sort of like a precursor to what would happen. And so kind of like if you're running a long short book, that's the part that keeps you up at night with the shorts. Because if you're net short, that's like the thing that you're watching out for in your exposure. It's like, because when this market has, everyone's so positioned short right now, like that's the crowded trade. You're just like, at least if you're thinking, if you're not thinking, okay, more power to you. But if you're thinking person, what's keeping you up at night a little bit is like, how much short exposure do you have? Because if there is some sort of like uptick in good news, the market needs almost anything. Because right now we're measuring, if you're using like public and free sources, fear and greed index is at extreme fear. It's been there for a while. But if you look at a lot of the other indicators, like more closely, how many people have purchased insurance, how many people, or what short interest has done across various asset classes, how much degrossing there's been, how much cash has been put to the sidelines. Yeah, it's a little scary if you're overly levered short. I mean, you're gonna have to watch out for that. But granted, right now there's no catalyst that's visible. But that's the problem with this, is like it's gonna come out of nowhere unless you have insider information. Like,
you remember Liberation Day? That one day it went up like 10%.
Yes. Yes. And that's, at that time, the net exposure from funds on average was really far off the sidelines. They were, by the way, real net short February. So a lot of them looked really smart. But the problem with a lot of these funds is they did not get back in time. And they stayed underexposed to the market for a long time through the summer. I kept saying, like, remember, Dan, we talked about this, like the offsides comment. All these people are offsides, and then their clients are going to call them and say, why the fuck am I in cash? The market's up.
Yep.
that can happen again, because the PMs sometimes they stay scared, and especially if they let their politics get involved. Because I don't know if you know this about the political skew in fund managers. It actually leans more Dem. No.
What?
Yes. It's
Wow.
it's almost 70%. It's like 69, 68 Dem. It's actually the bond managers that are. It's the opposite. It's 70% Republican. But stocks, equity, you have a few. You have like Druckenmiller, who's like, Republican. Charlie Munger was Republican. I believe Howard. I forget what Howard is, but like some of the more prominent. But no, the majority are actually Dem. If you go on X, for example, most of the fun guys, most of the guys running money, they're Dems. So
Interesting. I did not know that.
70%. Yeah, it's significant. Yeah.
No wonder I hate stock people so much.
Yeah, you always felt something about them. You're like,
yeah, something off about
it in your bones.
I guarantee you, I was pointing this out in CM. Like if I did a poll, just like if I thought of it cleverly, like a Q&A, like a questionnaire, I told people it's like most of the people are going to poll, actually, surprisingly, because some people have this preconceived notion that it would be Republican. No, it's gonna be a lot of Dems. If we were talking about fixed income and bond guys, I would tell you, yeah, statistically more likely it's going to be Republicans. But yeah,
go bonds.
Yeah, and they say some different things about the bond guys too. But yeah,
I'm going 100% bonds now to support my party.
yeah. You know what? That's why Gil's buying TLT.
Damn, you're right. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's going up 30%, bro, any day now.
All right, so you see, there you go. You got someone here who says he was retired VP, IB at Barclays. Telling you, no, they really are. I'm telling you, the majority are Democrat, and not like a little majority. It's an overwhelming majority. So that's kind of also why I think there was I forget this paper. I forget the name, but it was interesting, kind of reading it. On like the potential political bias within money managers. Yeah,
that's where all the DEI stuff came from. All those ESG funds. It's all coming together now. Yeah, but we have Fishback though. He started the anti-woke fund. So we have some resistance in the stock community.
Yeah. Well, I hear this term now. I don't know if you use it too. There's woke left and woke right.
I've heard of woke right. I've heard of
What do you know what that means? Like, what? Also, the audience, I guess. What does that mean? Woke right?
I honestly don't know what it means. I mean, I've heard it, but it's kind of like a weird juxtaposition. Like they don't necessarily cross over.
Is that like maybe the Charlie Kirk type?
No.
Is that the woke right?
I think woke right. The only thing woke right would be like
the Jews,
super extremist, like far right, something like that. Like basically, think about the wokes, how crazy they are with like DEI, but you flip it over, you invert it. So it wouldn't be anybody in the
Second Amendment people, maybe.
Not even that.
No.
I think it'd be more like racial politics. That would be woke right. I think that's what I would think the definition would be.
I don't care strongly about anything, so all these people are crazy to me. I'm just like,
somebody doesn't know what woke means. I mean, I know what the left woke is. I'm not so sure about what they mean by the woke right.
So if Fishback is woke right, which is where I've seen that been attributed to, then it implies, perhaps some of the more he's aware of certain social issues pertaining to, I guess his platform is like identifying foreign influence and making that a big issue, and corporations, etc. So a lot of similarities that may overlap with the left is what I'm getting at. MAGA is woke, right? I have not seen that attributed. I've seen like I'm not okay. Well, words are words. We can start just, because everyone's gonna have different definitions, I guess.
Groypers.
Yeah, okay. If it's groypers, right?
Do you know? So, Chris, all the nonsense last year about cutting the federal government, getting rid of federal employees, it did nothing. Zero
No, that
effect.
broke my heart. I can't explain how happy I was when they started.
I know, like, that was right up your alley. Like, you were loving it.
I was like, I will die for Trump if he can actually do this. But it
They're
totally
spending
failed.
more money. I mean, they did lower the head count, but they're physically spending more dollars. So it's like,
yeah. I mean, I was focused more on the head count because like I worked with a lot of federal employees and I wasn't impressed. So I mean, they reduced the head count a little bit, but it didn't accomplish what I expected it to. There's a lot of resistance in the government to any kind of change, and they basically won. And then as soon as he leaves, if they get a dim in the office again, they'll go right back to where they were before.
You know, the only way I think to make sustained long-term cuts to the government is sequestration again, like we did with Obama. So no, like just across the board, you just like axe everything the same. That's the only time we've actually physically cut the spending.
It's entitlements. Like most of the budget is on autopilot.
Yeah, a lot of it they couldn't even nobody wants to mess with Social Security and Medicare. It's just not happening.
No, we're gonna keep running deficits for a long time.
Yeah, like I don't know how you fix it.
AI. I mean that's the only thing that's gonna save our ass. AI and robotics, really.
Like, what if someone came out and was like, okay, it took us like 50 years to get in this mess. What if we have a plan to get the bullshit where they said like balance the budget in like 5 years, like a 50-year plan, but no politician cares because they're not going to be around in 50 years. But
the 50-year plan would be like GDP goes ballistic and we become ultra prosperous because of AI and robotics, and then the debt's not really a big deal. That's probably the only plan that they have, because if we don't have AI and robotics, we're screwed. You know, you think about like demographics.
Yeah, we need those efficiencies and growth. And
so you better get on your knees and pray that those two actually save us.
But it'll happen when we're retired, all this robotics. It ain't happening in the next 10 years, but
I'm getting a robot. I'm getting a robot.
Be ready.
It's happening sooner than you think. So like when we're looking at Amazon robotics, which is super underappreciated, they're going to be there, but
I've always said like
house, right? But
if we're going to argue like robotics is happening, as long as we argue that it's not about like them being on two legs, it's like we're there. If we're going to say it has to look like a human, I'm like, why are you stupid? It doesn't have to be a human.
Like, that's where I'm at. I think I think like if you look at what Amazon's initiatives are by 2030 in terms of how much warehouse automation is coming, like productivity increase at Amazon's going to be pretty interesting. Robots on two legs in your house.
It have to look like a person. It doesn't have to. You can have a welding robot. It's just a big fucking arm that has like 10 joints to hit all the different angles. It doesn't need to be a person. So
no, what we need is robot soldiers.
Dude, I'm telling you,
drones.
I gotta post some stuff in our group chat. Like, I've been kind of deep diving Ukraine about like on that, like submarines and like the robotic. So they're developing and they're talking about like within 2 to 3 years, they can sustainably see having a lot of robotics on the front lines. Like the designs look ridiculous right now. It's like a brick on wheels with a machine gun on top of it. it looks like shit, but they're like, give us like 3 more years and they could see like these will be responsible for like a large portion of their front line. Will be these just robots, and then they'll have the soldiers in the back for rapid response with like Bradleys, and then the drone operators. So it's like defense in depth. I mean, this is what we should be paying attention to. This is how the next war is going to be fought. Like the Ukrainians are teaching us everything about what's going to happen. But fascinating.
Want to join the army, young men?
Dude, I'd be terrified. The next war. Like we were in a base. You felt pretty safe, right? I mean, you could get mortared, but you were in the fob. You could.
They had a Gatling gun. Basically, it's called a CRAM, and they could literally shoot down rockets. So when they would shoot rockets at the base, you'd see this like basically lightning bolt of bullets go up and blow up the rocket.
Like
that
the future,
that doesn't apply anymore.
no, you are not safe. But anywhere within 1,000 miles of the front line, you're not safe in the next war. Like,
No,
fuck.
maybe time to ease out of the military. We'll see.
No.
maybe before the next war.
Yeah, is that the right now the majority of the casualties from the Ukrainians against the Russians?
Oh yeah,
These drones.
So
they're both going crazy with the drones.
They're killing like a battalion of Russians a day, like estimates, and they have these little drones, and
Wait, how many? Sorry, how many?
Their estimates are like 1,000 a day because the
Oh,
Russians are
1,000.
still pushing forward. They're not stopping. They keep pushing forward these like small teams, and then the Ukrainians will identify them with like aerial drones. They have these personal use drones that don't cost barely anything anymore, and they just pre-plan their attack. It's crazy what they're doing.
Oh no,
They have specific drone grenades now. They're anti-personnel, anti-equipment, and
my question was actually the reverse. The Russians to the Ukrainians, because
they don't report that, so we don't know.
Oh, they don't report that.
No, the Ukrainians don't. They tell you what they killed, but they don't tell you what they lost. So
I bet you they're underreporting Ukrainian casualties too, but
I think of it as a ratio. Like I think you could probably believe the ratios. So, but even let's say they were killing 10-1 Russians. That's okay. That's still a significant amount of casualties on the Ukrainian side. If it was like 5-1, 10-1. So,
well, because that would be interesting to know because they're facing the same threat, right? There's drones on the Russian side. They have the Shahed. They also have the little quadcopter ones. And so it'd be interesting to see how many casualties they're receiving from the Russians from their drones, because the Ukrainians have developed a lot of anti-drone stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
Have the Russians developed anything interesting or no?
Anti-drone wise, not really.
So they're just taking it. They're just like, oh.
I mean, they have their traditional.
Actually, the anti-drone guy is Dimitri over there. he gets it first, and then we send Vlad.
The problem is like they've restricted everyone from using their phones. Like Telegraph barely works. You have to use the Russian app. It's harder to understand what they're doing on their side now.
Because that's the part that I think, as an outsider looking at, is like interesting. Because it's okay. I hear all of this about the Ukrainians and how many casualties they're getting with their drones, but the drones are being used against Ukrainians, and it's like, what's going on with that? Are they suffering a similar casualty rate? Are they suffering significantly less? What are they doing to suffer less?
I mean, the real answer is you don't know, because there's propaganda on both sides. So we're not going to, even if we're getting our cheeks clapped somewhere, we're not going to necessarily admit it, at least not up front. You just don't know. You just have to see it. I mean, Ukraine's the same way. You just have to see what happens. Like maybe one day the Russians just roll up the country and the war's over.
We just keep going back to trench warfare.
You just don't know.
I mean, that's kind of what the Ukrainians, it looks like they'll find like an opening where they want to attack, and they'll push forward with their personnel carriers. They don't like, their people aren't walking across the field. They go forward with their Bradleys, jump out, do an assault, then they like get out and get back. The Russians already used up all their freaking, APCs like the first 2-3 years. Just sending forward columns of them. I don't think they have as much.
Are they using like motorcycles now?
Yeah, they're using motorcycles and horses and shit. Like, fucking nuts.
That's crazy, man.
See, that's where I can't imagine we would be in that position, because everything from what I know about the Russians, right? They lied to whoever was at the top, right? What do you want to call that apparatus? Their military apparatus. They lied about the readiness, right? They had all this equipment they thought was ready to go. It wasn't as ready to go as they thought because of the corruption. And economy the size of Italy, so kind of nothing compared to the United States, even when accounting for purchasing power parity. It's like, because there's some folks out there, I remember at the beginning of the war, they were just like, oh yeah, Russia's stronger than the United States.
Okay.
Okay there. But yeah, and it's just like I'm wondering what the U.S. would. Maybe we'll find out in Iran. Strongman.
I'll let you know. Okay.
But yeah, I know it's kind of interesting. Yeah, I'd say it's a big unknown. I probably wouldn't want my child be like, hey, go fight Terminator. Because I'm thinking when my child's at the age where they'd go into the military, it's like we have Terminators.
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking, I'm like, I want my son to join the military just so he gets like toughens up a little bit. But at the same time, it's like, is it worth it? Maybe he goes and he gets, incinerated by a laser from Terminator. Like, is that worth the benefit of him getting toughened up or getting some military benefits? So I'm gonna have to think about that one.
I do have a question on that. That I feel like I'm curious to hear your thoughts on it. Do you feel like society has changed its Overton window on its appetite for casualties? Has it shifted, you think? Because I sometimes I can't help it. Like just reading as a normie, reading history on conflict with the US, right? War, if you look at all the wars in the past 100+ years, the casualty rates seem to be going down, which is good.
Yeah.
But is our appetite for casualties in the West reduced dramatically from where it was before?
I think in America, I think with Iran, this war, I don't think we'd have a high appetite for casualties because there's a lot of resistance, I think, to it. It really depends on the nature of the war. Like,
Yeah.
If your whole population's behind the war, like let's say America gets attacked by another country and we lose 10,000 people. Oh yeah, the whole nation will rally and we can suffer lots of casualties and we'd be behind it. But for something like this, like another Middle Eastern war, I don't think there's a high appetite for casualties.
Yeah, which presents an interesting kind of like position. This is the more negative Nancy, because I before I was maybe representing the positive Nancy side or whatever you want to call that, but that puts the United States perhaps in that disadvantage longer term. That might be the cause of the other problem, and there was nothing the U.S. because that's what they're banking on. By the way, if you actually read Three Warfare's doctrine on this, that's what they're banking on. A lot of the different papers published by the PLA that we've taken and then translated to English, it's the whole bet is that they can delay, but the way they delay is through propaganda, information, etc., blah blah blah, where the U.S. doesn't want to do anything, and that's, I guess, like their victory plan or plan for victory. That they think in a kinetic conflict they'll lose, but they can avoid it entirely by getting us to do nothing.
It's possible. I mean, the longer we stay in Iran, the more advantage I think we give to the Iranians. So it's within our interest to just get this done as fast as possible. Because if there's a quagmire and then you start seeing hundreds or thousands of casualties, the American public is going to riot. We have a huge resistance now. I mean, at least based on polls that I've seen, it doesn't seem like the war is that popular. And we've had relatively light casualties. But with boots on the ground and fighting and we potentially losing hundreds or thousands of soldiers, I think public opinion would really, really turn against this.
Yeah. If it's a national defense, man, people will go sign up.
Yeah.
I signed up after 9/11. Like 5 months later, I signed up. So yeah, depends on.
Nobody's running to this war. Nobody's like, oh, I'm signing up to fight Iran. Let's go. I mean, they freaking raised the age of recruitment because they're probably having recruiting issues.
Yeah. Still a great career option.
Oh, its benefits are wonderful, people.
Yeah.
You just have to not get glassed by Terminator.
Oh, so you would still recommend it to people?
Now, yeah. Just do Space Force or
Air Force, Space Force.
Yeah. you get the same benefits.
Dude, Air Force, Space Force is ridiculous. I can't. Oh, I wish I could have done it. Fucking, do you see the uniforms? And I'm like, oh, I wish I could have been in that. But...
Yeah, they call them Guardians, I think.
I love it. It's awesome.
I was so jealous because like I was infantry and I'm like, I just get nothing but shit.
You
and these
guys
other
are making.
they pay. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
You guys are making all these jokes about Space Force, and the aliens come.
You think you're safe when they land?
You think you're safe?
Wait,
And-
wait, I
It would,
got
it would still be the Air Force and Army fighting them, probably.
Can you?
10 years behind a
You're-
computer looking at satellites, and they're like, they throw a gun in your lap, and you're like, get ready. You're like, what?
Minute you join Space Force, you get in the little, you get in a computer. I'm making up things as a normie. Then you're sitting there. There's like whatever the equivalent of the space radar, and you say, "Doop, doop." There's nothing, and then suddenly one thing, and 1,000 things. And you're like, fuck.
You just delete the app and go home. You're like, it's like Robin Hood. Just, I'm not feeling good, boss.
Yeah, like fuck this. I'm going home. I didn't sign up for this.
It's getting
Yeah.
dark.
Yeah, but jokes on Space Force until the aliens come. Then.
One thing I would not do would be Navy ever.
Really?
No,
Really? Okay, here,
Dude,
my buddy's in Navy.
No,
because you're on
And
a ship half the freaking
they
year.
are
and you're
small.
He
literally-
likes it.
they're so small, much smaller than you think. Those spaces
Maybe
underneath.
maybe he plays for the other team. I don't know, but because he doesn't have a girlfriend, so
No, I'd be terrified.
Well, in that case, maybe
Oh.
not. But yeah, if you want a girlfriend, good luck. You're at sea 6 months out of the year.
that's why
or-
he.
That's probably why they're or you're there 10 months and then you burn your laundry room down. I mean, it's you think they're having a good time if they're burning their laundry rooms?
They so did. I'm telling you, I'm pretty sure.
Dude, they should be like executed. Like that's serious. That's
That
not
is really bad.
it's like
I mean, you think
savage.
they could
like
figure it out,
sabotaging a
right?
Vehicle.
They
Huh?
gotta have cameras and they know where people were on the ship, basically. And
Oh, someone's ass is gonna get in big trouble. Imagine
I
we
never saw-
lost. Imagine we
I never-
lost the war because we didn't have a carrier. What do you think's
I
gonna
didn't see
happen?
that NCIS episode. I guess
happen?
it's a new one.
That would be good. Yeah. So on Common Sense Personal Finance said earlier, he said buying high beta like crazy. Do you guys like this idea? Markets down, buying high beta. That's the contrarian play. I like it. I lean that direction because it's the contrarian play right now. Everyone's short.
You're a
Most-
disgusting degenerate. That's what I think about it.
He's a disgusting. Yeah.
Because like, okay, if the conflict escalates, you're gonna get your cheeks clapped
You
with
will.
high
Dude.
beta.
You
So
No
just-
will.
risk it, no biscuit. I mean,
No risk and no biscuit. I think
Well,
if you're managing leverage,
I'll keep my tiny little biscuit in VT. I'm terrified of anything.
I don't
high
want to. I
beta.
don't want to tell people how, but Andrew and me were doing trading the VIX to some degree. I don't even want to talk about it here.
No.
None of you should fucking think about this. Go.
Only if you buy his course, then you can get some insights.
yeah. Which, yeah. But so no managing leverage. Oh my God, it's no managing leverage. Never mind. I'm buying leveraged funds. Oh no, the man's going. He's
Oh.
going in.
Does this shirt? I can't read his shirt. Does this say index funds are for losers? I can't tell what that is.
I
Yeah.
think so. Yes, I'm certain that says index funds are for losers.
I'm like, who the hell is this?
I need
Bro
to,
is
Chris. I'll buy that for you.
I mean, I actually wear that as a gag. That'd be funny. That's totally him, by the way, on the bench press.
yeah.
All right,
Oh.
guys. I think that's probably about it.
All right. No 10-hour stream. I'm kidding.
No. No.
See, that's
That's going right back to my room. Maybe I'll do some taxes. I don't know.
yeah, tax. Oh yeah, tax season. You know, it's the best time of the year, everyone.
It's slowing down, thankfully, but there are still people out there. And any of you clowns in the comments, they're due. Just a couple weeks. Any last comments, boys? Buckos?
To summarize, may we live in interesting times. Excited to see how this develops, and we will see what happens in the coming weeks. Will be interesting. We can reconvene and be like, oh shit, well either you know, we're all getting drafted or I'm getting drafted and you guys are sending me off, you know, and Strongman's like giving me a little slap on the ass, like good luck.
Oh yeah.
Or you know, we're balling, you know, something happened, we're all balling.
10% vertical line.
Yeah,
I think investors should be like in survival mode until you can see a little bit of a resolution. I ran, so
You want me to read all
if you want, it's fine.
Look, guys, I'll do another live stream tomorrow, okay? And then I'll read all your comments. I've been talking for 2 hours and 25 minutes. Sue me.
yeah, I think that's reward enough. He did a very long stream.
Yeah. See how my subs always bitch. Doesn't matter. It's never enough.
You have the funniest subs though. You
I do. Yeah.
because
All troll, basically.
like Alan, is he still in there?
See Alan's like fun. Like Gil's a dick, but Alan's fine to me. Like I enjoy
Alan. Sorry, not Alan. Gil is chaotic good.
Just call him, he's a psycho.
Chaotic evil. I don't know. Chaos. And then yeah, you got all the
I know I scammed you out of 17 cents. I'm sorry. I did read some of your comments. And you guys got 2.5 hours of content. I don't want to hear your bitching.
You got ads.
Yeah.
And yeah.
All right. Well, thank you guys. Everybody, have a wonderful night. I'll do a live stream tomorrow. I think I might actually play RuneScape on a computer during a live stream.
You know, if you ever got the game Gray Zone Warfare,
never heard of it.
You get it. It's fun. It's fun.
I'll check it out. No, I'm just kidding. Clients, I'll be doing taxes tomorrow. All day.
All day.
All day. All right. Well, thank you, everybody. You guys have a wonderful night. Cheers.